about his yet, but he did mow his yesterday afternoon.
I just try to put it off the longest.
I really didn't need, I put I just had to do it.
Dave doesn't, he can't.
You ready?
She's ready.
Okay, let's go ahead and start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to start the regular town council meeting for the month of March with roll call. Jason Little,
He's gonna be late. He's on a fire run.
Tricia Ball,
Here.
Kevin Burke,
Here.
Michael Johannes,
Here.
Brian Moore.
Here.
Okay.
Turn it over to you.
Okay, first thing on the agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from February 10th.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes from February 10th meeting.
I'll second.
I have a first from Tricia and a second from Brian. Any other discussion on them? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let be known it passes 4-0.
We have a second set of minutes for.
Yeah, special.
Okay.
We had on Monday.
And then we had a set of minutes from March the 3rd. We had a meeting last Monday to discuss the handbook and that.
Make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes.
Second.
I have a first from Trish and a second from Mike. Any other discussion on those? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Let it be known it passes 4-0. Next thing we have is comments from the floor. We have the first presentation from ServPro.
Council? Brian?
Yep.
Mike?
Thank you.
Turn on order, right? Kevin?
Yes, thank you.
Sir? Tricia?
Thank you.
Jason? And Jane?
Thank you.
All right, information on me.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir.
First of all, I want to thank the council for allowing me to come in, and my goal this evening really is to introduce myself and connect professionally with the town of Santa Claus, so I appreciate you all having me today. I am the Spencer County representative for ServPro. ServPro is a national company, it's a franchise operation, and we're locally owned and operated. So I personally live on the far north side of Evansville. I have an office in Evansville, and I also have opened an office in Jasper May of last year. And what we do is we provide emergency services. So for city and town operations across the U.S., we have agreements where, and I'm the kind of guy that honestly, I hope the town is never calling me for any reason, because if someone's calling me, there's usually a problem tied to it. And usually that problem has to do with water damage, storm damage of some sort, or fire damage. So I have emergency services team that cover this area on a daily basis, and we provide services to provide water extraction, fire restoration, storm damage, cleanup, and repair services. And what I'm proposing for consideration to the town of Santa Claus and the service agreement that you see before you is simply a way that we formally connect with a town operation. This agreement would allow me the opportunity to really invest the time to build a relationship here. Get to know you on the council a little bit better, get to know your existing maintenance team, get to meet your first responders, your fire and police, and then if there would be a situation that would warrant a need for emergency services, you would have a connection path to where prompt service would be brought into the town of Santa Claus. So in this agreement, the executive summary of it would be anybody that we have on this receives a priority response. From the time that we get a call in, whoever would have called us from here would receive a call back within 30 minutes. We would have an emergency team literally on site within 4 hours and developing a scope to mitigate the problem or propose a corrective measure. So that's in essence what we do. We work with just about every insurance company, nationally as far as on the carrier side, and I personally call on, if there's an insurance agency in Spencer County that I haven't called on, I'll be very surprised. It's a lot of what I do is working with the agents and claims adjusters to help get their covered losses reconciled. So ServPro serves, we're not an insurance company. We're, in our world, we're the in-between. We're working with both the end user and the adjuster, and our service team is they're on the job and providing data every day that we're on the job site. We're reporting out to show exactly what we've done and the progress that we're making on getting whatever the situation is reconciled. So that is the essence of who I am, what I do. We make it a point to visit with all the city and town operations. Like I take care of Spencer, I take care of Du Bois, I take care of Warwick, half of Vanderburgh County. So I make a point to always see city and town operations, school corporations, medical facilities, any place that would be critical to getting this type of operation up and going quickly in the case of an emergency. That's where we would endeavor to put our resources first. So that's what I wanted to bring you today. I really appreciate the opportunity just to have the conversation, let you know I'm here. Would love the opportunity to partner with the town of Santa Claus in any way that you would deem valuable. I'd be happy to answer any questions now on what I've said, and certainly would be helpful if you take a look at the agreement at some point as your schedule would permit, and I will make sure that every question is addressed.
I guess your fee is based on what we have covered.
Well, it could be. I mean, if it is an insurance claim that's going to be submitted in, then yes, your insurance company would tell us what the coverage terms are, and we would work together with them to get the pricing formulated to be able to complete the repair.
What does an entity usually do in order to have your services financially? How do we assure that we have ServPro?
Yeah, it can be anything that you all want it to be. Within this agreement, there is a line in there where our clients can dictate to us what they want to see on a not to exceed number. So those greatly vary. I just set this agreement up for the town of Newburgh, Indiana, and they put an arbitrary number in there of $5,000 as an example. It can be anything, but essentially what it is typically a town operation will look at it from a budget perspective, say, probably one of the more common things in Spencer County, at least over the last year that I've witnessed, has been water intrusion. So you may say, well, you know, we've had this a couple times over the years, and it can be anything. But honestly, that number, it's a not to exceed number. Whatever number that the people over there tell us would typically be just enough money where we can get some people on site with some equipment and to create some sort of hopefully stabilized situation, and then come back and report out and say, here's where we're at. We've got things stabilized. Does your maintenance team want to take the baton from here and go on with it, or do you want us to continue on and work through to complete the project? It can be literally in any way, shape, or form that our customers want it. But the number is strictly whatever the people sitting over there tell us it can be. And it can be changed at any time.
So the main thing that's paying for is quick response and mitigation
Yes.
with insurance and all parties that are needed.
It could be insurance or private pay. We will do either. nationally, ServPro is very well known across the country for our expertise as far as working with the insurance carriers and the claims adjusters. Our software, as far as it creates the estimates for reconstruction, is all mirrored to match theirs, so we usually don't have a lot of static from them on, getting a lot of pushback on our estimates.
So as an example, if this building was flooded and it was covered by insurance, the insurance would come in, the adjuster would come in and say, this costs $10,000 to clean this up, then that's where you would step in and you either agree that you'll clean it up for 10,000 or
Yes.
less, or whatever, or if it's more, you would tell us. But that's generally how this works, whether it's fire or water or
Yes.
whatever the type.
That's exactly right. And when it's water, sometimes we do get the call first, simply because if there's a pipe that's burst or there's water rushing in and someone does not know how to locate the water shut-off valve, we do get calls first from the insured to come out and get things stabilized, and then we work backwards from there. And I've not seen, in my experience, I've not seen any adjuster pushback on that. I mean, because that call to us first has, in essence, saved the end user a lot of money, because every minute that goes by with the water intrusion is racking up the cost of the claim or the repair. But yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This, one other thing I would say with this master service agreement, it sounds more daunting than what it is. This does not in any way, shape, or form give us any kind of exclusivity where if this gets signed off of, you all lose. You can still work with any contractor that you want to, or any source. We're not the exclusive, where you have to come to us for anything that would happen along those unfortunate events. This is just an agreement we put together because we do focus so much on your type of operation. So this is just, like I said, it's more of a formalized agreement. It gets the town of Santa Claus in our system. Now we know who the players are here, and we start developing a relationship. And again, with the hope that, we're building a friendly relationship. And given that I have an insurance background, I'm hoping that you're not calling me. I mean, if you're calling me, there's a problem. But with aging infrastructure, there's a litany, storm situations come through. Sometimes it's just a matter of it just happens. And so this is more of a safety net to know that there's a resource close by or resources close by that can help out in a time of need, should there be a situation that would arise.
So for example, let's say we had a storm come through the area and it knocks out this window, we got water everywhere, we call you guys, and you're gonna fix the windows, board them up right away, and clean up the water.
Correct.
Before the insurance company really has time to react?
We could, yes. That is a very common scenario where our service team would come in.
So
All those things we would do and provide.
So stop further damage.
Yes.
So basically, I wouldn't need to be picking up the phone, trying to get some people to board up the window for the night and get the water off the area where it does more damage, correct?
Yes, in that scenario, where it could be multiple phone calls to get one task done, yes, in that example, we would represent one call and all those things would be addressed. And that is the other reason I mentioned law enforcement. I mean, I will see a police officer and a fire station in every county that I travel in for that very reason. If there's a vandalism or, or theft or someone's kicked the door in, we will come and board those up. Or if there be something unfortunate, a death or a suicide or something more mild cleaning or some kind of hazard like that, would be in play. We have teams that are trained and certified to do that type of cleanup. So that's why I mentioned law enforcement earlier and fire.
Okay. You guys have any?
So whatever we set that price at, that's gonna be up to that dollar amount, including your supplies, labor, and everything. So not to exceed, if we put the 5,000 it's not to exceed 5,000.
Correct, that would be a number that, again, that would, to not to exceed number, it can be any number that you want it to be, and it's generally speaking, simply enough from a budget line perspective to get a couple of resources on site in a hurry without having to go through the admin of trying to generate a purchase order whenever, there's a serious situation at hand. But we will only work up to that dollar amount. We would not exceed that from a building perspective until we receive proper authorization.
So if you are in an agreement with the town and our police officers have one of those crisis situations, then you're already in the agreement with them because you're in the agreement with the town?
Yes. Yeah, of course, the board would have to authorize that, but that is generally speaking, the police and the fire would be part of that. And again, not that they would be landlocked with me if for whatever reason the fire and police said, hey, we already have resources lined up for this, we love them, then we wouldn't look to try to dislodge a good relationship if they're already saying, hey, there's already somebody good taking care of this.
I have a question. So, when you're saying that, are you referring to us if we go and break a window to enter a home or break a door to enter a home? Because if you're talking like cleanup, that's all up to the homeowner.
Yeah.
Those are things that we will give the homeowners, we currently use another company. We just give the homeowners that company's information. We could obviously give them that information, but as far as if you did an agreement with the town, the only way that would affect us is if we go, for instance, and kick a door in. We could call you guys and you could come, because we've had situations before where we've had difficulty securing a door after we kicked it in.
Yeah.
You guys would take care of that?
Well, that's a little bit different.
Okay.
Because,
I'm just trying to understand
Yeah.
the police side of it.
yeah, if there was like a threat where you could go around because you were responding to something like that, it becomes a matter of who would the responsible party be to take care of that. So.
Typically the homeowner.
Yeah, so, but in that case, you were there, they probably didn't know you were coming, didn't really want you to be there, but you're there to take care of business.
Correct.
So, yeah, that's a good question. I would say that would be something that would not be part of this, but this would be more of that you were called, there was a vandalism or theft, so you were checking that out, and they're gonna break into a window or to a door. That homeowner is looking for the support, so we would want law enforcement in any area to know that we would simply be a resource for such stuff.
You'd be a resource, not necessarily, we wouldn't be involved in
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah,
Okay.
in that
I just want to
situation.
clarify that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This agreement's mainly for our property, correct?
yeah.
That's what
Or incidents within our property.
Yeah,
That's all I was trying to clarify.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's good.
But yes, we would
We
want
could use
to,
you as a resource.
yeah, we would want to be on your radar screen to know that we are, it's not like could be a supplemental.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Great question.
Nobody else has any questions? I'd like to table this for further review and have Kevin look at the contract too.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you
Fred.
coming, Fred.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Let's sort of change the agenda around tonight. Do we have any contractors here who submitted any of the proposals? Okay. If not, I'm going to move that back to the regular place. So if Jason's here, okay? Comments from me tonight, and anybody else from the council has anything else? Just on the drive up here, it's amazing the number of people that were at the park on my way here and the number of people on the walking trails. So apparently Ron beat you in cutting grass, so.
I know we voted last Tuesday.
Oh, you did? Sorry, Ron. That's even in your neighborhood.
Yeah, but I beat my neighbor, so.
So it's all that matters.
You know who that is?
Yes, That's all the forecast.
But he did do his yesterday afternoon, but I mean,
I figured he did. He only mowed his because he saw you mowing.
that's right.
Other than that, I know spring is coming. Hopefully, winter doesn't hit us once more like it has many years in the past. But I also dread the personal thing from going from heat to AC right away. So, does anybody else have anything they want to bring up to the public right now? If not, we're going to move on to the fire department.
Well, all I can say is thank you very much for the new truck. We took delivery last Tuesday, March 4th, about 1 o'clock. We brought it home about 3. So very proud of it. It will go into service probably Saturday. The builder's coming up. We're gonna start at 10. We're gonna pump. All we have pretty well have left to do is pump and blow hose. So it should go be in service Saturday.
How many years ago did we order that?
October of 2022.
Yep.
29 months.
Yep.
So it's
And now, I went to a meeting, the Region 15 meeting the other day, and several of the communities were talking about getting fire trucks, and they said that they are $1 million and up right now.
St. Anthony will be here Thursday evening. They are very interested. They followed this all the way through the build, and they want one pretty well identical. So they're coming Thursday.
I think ours is about an 800 now, or a 600. How much would this cost now?
I'd say at least 6.
Yeah.
Celestine bought one last year. It was 520 something. Just come in at 448. 5. So it came in right in. The department covered some extras, but we added a few things that we picked up. So.
I guess we're gonna have police officers on duty Thursday, be sure that they don't steal it from us.
Yes.
Okay.
I got to play it a while ago, so that's why I need
He honked. Siren. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we've got a monthly report for the month of February. We had 13 first responders, we had 2 fire alarms, and we had a person stuck in the elevator.
Where is
The lodge, it was between floors, so we had to go do that. For a total of 16 runs for the month. Medicine cabinet clean out day will be April the 16th, or
26?
April 26th at 8 a.m. from 8 to noon.
And is that countywide, can I ask?
Yeah, it'll be at St. Leonard
Okay.
and Carter and Ohio County, those 4 places. So. But like I said, the new engine, the new pickup was built last week as well. It should be here by the end of March to Jasper. Everything's at Myers to be installed, so we're waiting on that. And then the upstairs, he's ready to come over. They're finishing a project in Ferdinand. We ordered all the cabinets and flooring last week, so. Ready to go on that, so. We got a lot going on.
Top notch.
Yep. That's all I have unless anybody else.
When's the chicken day?
Probably the last Saturday in June.
Okay.
We're gonna have to do a couple a year. I think these guys really want the chicken day.
You guys come help us, we'll be glad to do it. Help us serve, it's where we need to help.
Thank you.
You guys have my monthly report. It's spring is in the air, so just want to let the public know if you haven't seen on Facebook, the water is back on at the park, the restrooms are operational. So I know that's always a big day for everybody. The swimming pool is better than nothing, but bathroom's actually much nicer.
No problems with any leaks when you turned them on, or?
Nope.
Cool.
Yeah, everything was good. That's always a welcome relief. Spring sports, well, soccer's underway. It'll be a few weeks till softball and baseball get going, but that's kind of what we're focusing on right now, is just making sure that the fields are in shape and that the park's ready to go when everybody gets there. So, community coffee hours have been going very well. I think we've been doing those for, what, about 5 weeks now? 4 or 5 weeks, I think. The attendance has been pretty consistent. Again, encourage the community to come on out if you got time in your schedule. It's a good time to socialize, and I think there's a group of ladies that plays mahjong.
Yeah.
You never know what you're gonna get. It's a good time. And then Jesse actually has taken up the mantle of starting a walking group down at the park. Is that on Thursday? This Thursday will be the first one, and it's at 8 or 10? 8. Okay. And then also a playground meetup for moms, or well, parents in general, if there's anybody that's interested in bringing the kiddos down. And that's starting spring break week.
Yeah, it starts this week.
Sorry. So yeah, we're excited about that. Jesse's bringing a lot of valuable contributions to the team and coming up with some great ideas. So that's really all I've got. I'd say, this week, we'll probably start going up here at Town Hall and at the Community Center. And then the trails, that'll probably still be a few weeks yet. Make sure we got everything else in the wraps first. So, anybody have any questions, comments?
I would like to give kudos to Jessie, she's on top of it, so, very good job.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for letting us hire.
Oh,
Big difference.
yep, it is, it's good.
But I think we're moving in the right direction with everything. So hopefully the equipment's in good shape, ready for the year, so.
Yeah, we made it a priority. We actually went ahead and started working on stuff back in early February, so last year it got away from us because spring kind of came early, so we wanted to make sure we were on top of it this year. But yeah, everything's going well. Just to keep it on your radar, I probably am gonna start looking at mowers. Don't know that we'll try to get two at once. Not necessarily that ours aren't operational, just maintenance costs eventually kind of catch up with you as they get a little bit of age on them. So that's something I'm just gonna do my homework, do a little research here over the next year, and possibly at budget time we can talk a little more, I'll have more numbers for you. So that's pretty much all I got though. Other than the website, I guess
Yes.
that's been under my.
Yes, it is. I added this to Zach's without his knowledge or consent, I will disclose. I put it under his just so we could get moved up sooner, since Jesse and John Goldsberry are both here to help field some questions on some of the sites that we looked at, so they wouldn't have to stay for the whole meeting. I know that, Kevin, you had presented a thing on the in.gov website. And at the time, I wasn't real familiar. I knew we had looked into it, but I didn't know all the details about it. So I asked both of them to come because they were more involved with looking at that one. And so they kind of web service comparison.
Awesome.
So I don't know if you guys have any questions for either of them regarding either the in.gov site or the revised that I had presented a couple months ago, or any questions in general.
James, can you remind us how you did this? You did a payment plan and you paid the $5,000 a year and,
Oh, for the body cams.
yeah,
Yes, so, sort of, I'm trying to think the best way to explain it. You guys approved going ahead and spending that, so.
right,
And you knew it was a yearly thing with the contract with Axon for our body cams, so you just approved me to go ahead and spend it each year due to the fact that it was an ongoing thing that we had to have.
right,
Is that what you're referring to?
yes,
Yes.
just that it was like that,
Yeah, it's a 5-year, so basically it was a 5-year agreement, you gave me permission, the council gave me permission to go ahead and complete that 5 years, and once that 5 years is up, it has that opportunity of going up, and then I'll come back and we'll readdress it for an additional 5 years.
okay. So this would be a similar situation?
Correct, yes, so
It could be.
basically, yeah, it could be, if you sign X amount of years, then the council gave me permission, okay, we know it's gonna cost $5,100 each year for the next 5 years, go ahead and spend that money because you have to have it. So that's how that was done.
Okay,
And this potentially would be the same thing.
same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what happens, Jane, after the 5 years?
So after the 5 years, there's a $3,000 a year maintenance cost. As you can see, whoever did this, Jesse, John, whoever did this, did a really good job.
Yeah,
So, first off, yes, Jane.
you want to go to the mic?
Jane, oh, yeah, I can.
You've got a big voice, but
So I told him I'd come and explain some of this, because I've done a lot of digital marketing for probably 20 years. Designed over 100 websites myself, did a lot of email marketing, social media, Facebook, all that stuff. Anybody that sees Quarterback Club and Patriots Wrestling Club, I'm the Wizard of Oz, I guess, behind all of that. But, so first off, thanks to Jane, Zach, Jesse. We've probably spent, I don't know, 10 hours at least altogether on phone calls and demos and everything else, trying to pick these things apart and see what's available. So we kind of looked at the features, and we're not comparing apples to apples here. Everything's a little different. Some of them have different options, features, costs, things like that. And Jesse did a really good job of breaking this down to kind of simplify it as best we could without throwing everything at you, because you can drink through a garden hose and not even know what you're looking at. But bottom line, when you look at what we would like to do as a town, you know, it doesn't matter if it's water, street, police department, fire department, park and rec, whatever. We don't do a good job as a town putting out there for the public so they can pull it up on their phone and see and access everything they need to access. We've got the basics out there. I think, you know, 5 years ago, it was 2020, I think, we redid the website. It's okay, but it's not what it could be. You know, there's ways to generate revenue and donations and things like that through social media, your digital marketing as a whole. There's ways to communicate with texting and emailing, features that are built in, which is huge. And that's a lot of stuff that we don't really do that great of a job here in Santa Claus, but I think we can do a lot better. And just having the digital marketing tool available, you know, this website is not just a reference, it's a tool as well where we can go out and generate more donations, sponsorships and things like that. So a lot of different avenues we could go down. When you look at the features, obviously you can see Revise has a lot of the better features. When you look at the cost, you know, you don't want to necessarily look at just the initial investment across the top. You kind of want to look at those payment plans, because once you look at the payment plans, the top two choices there that we had with Town Web and Revise, they're basically the same thing price-wise. You're looking at, you know, right around $4,500 over a 5-year period. The nice thing about Revise is at the end of year 3, beginning of year 4, you get a free redesign, which is huge, because anybody that knows technology knows within a week or a month, it's outdated. There's new technology available. So in 3 years, the website's gonna look like a dinosaur, and we're gonna need to tweak it a little bit. We don't know what that looks like, but you know, AI is coming. There's a lot of AI tools. Maybe there's some features there, but the bottom line is having that available after year 3 is probably worth one of these annual costs on its own, if not more. So something to think about there. When you look at it, you know, the .gov through Tyler Technologies, that's about $8,000. Well, it's $5,000 up front and $3,000 the following year, so $8,000 in 2 years. You're basically spending that anyways. You're spending right around $9,000 in 2 years, because the initial cost for Revise and Town Web, those are actually built in to those 5-year payment plans. So that $4,500 for Revise includes the $10,750. Does that make sense? So I just wanted to explain that, so those big numbers that are up top don't scare you, because you're kind of paying the same across the board. That's really about all I have. I just think, you know, one thing that we could have the ability to do with this Revise is collect emails, collect text, you know, cell phone numbers, things like that are built into the system when they create an account. And it gives us the ability to send messages out if we've got a water line break, or you know, a deal coming up at the community center for, you know, a free month if you get a membership for 6 months, or whatever it is. You know, events down at Yellow Park, we can send all that stuff out. And you know, it's nice to have it on social media, but not everybody uses social media. So to be able to send it through the website is a whole nother avenue. So, does anybody have any questions, concerns, thoughts?
The only one I have, and I'm not a computer person at all, is protection of the information that we gather from the townspeople.
Yeah, all three of these will have that. They've all got their individual hosting. Jesse has each one, I think you have each one of them printed out. All the different proposals that we've got, and they all talk about cybersecurity, so that's a big thing. That would be on their end, and they'd have to, clean that up as well, so that's part of the package. One thing that you see here, I think it's on here, I saw it somewhere, the customer support, that's a big deal too. Revise is unlimited. You gotta pay extra to get unlimited through Town Web. You only get 10 tickets a month through the .gov website. So having that unlimited customer support is a big deal. All of these will be fairly easy to train people, and I can help train Jesse and Zach and Jane, and then they can kind of help other people as well. But nowadays, all of these websites are basically built to where you can, if you're a guy that likes to get into code and you want to do a whole bunch of custom stuff, you can, or you can click a button
Russ.
and you can edit it just like it's a Word document. So it's fairly easy, so.
So John, you had me until that last statement. So what the county is looking at is 3 entities that will manage this website for us. Is that correct?
No, these are 3 options.
Different ones.
These are 3 different websites.
So these are basically our 3 quotes. that
So
we have.
it's gonna be local folks that are gonna be managing. That's my question.
Correct.
You, Jane, Zach?
Yeah.
Anybody
Anybody could
access
update
to.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anybody.
I'm not
give
in,
access to.
I'm not
it.
that.
You can call Jane up and say, hey, we've got a water line break at whatever road, send out a message.
And that's where it was going, how quickly could we get some posted or out there?
Immediately.
It would be immediately, and
Yeah.
the other benefit is that the community would be able to, with Revise, the other 2 do not offer this, but with Revise, say for instance, there's a water break, the community could choose, it's totally up to them, we don't automatically sign them up for things, but they could choose to get notifications from the utility department. And so if we put it up there, they will automatically get a text, an email, not just on social media, but it would be something they would be able to opt in or out of.
Kind of like the code red.
We have annual, like the
Yeah.
CCR, we put
Right.
how
Yeah.
hard would we get that?
Yes.
And there's a lot of tools out there nowadays too with API and just embedding stuff, so you can easily embed your social media stuff. One thing that Jesse brought up that I didn't even know about, maybe you guys know, maybe you don't, July 1 of this year, all of our YouTube videos for these meetings will have to be on the website.
Yeah.
So that's something that we can easily integrate, it's not hard to do. Being able to send out messages, alerts, and notifications, but also being able to track to see if they actually opened it, what time they opened it, all of that, that's good information. What are they interested in? We could have segments set up for marketing if they only want park updates, or only want community center updates, or only want what, you can do a lot of different things with it. And that's where you can get a lot more benefit out of it, not just a page with a phone number and, a little bit of information.
Question. So as a resident customer of the town, once the website's up and running, and I'm just trying to clarify that I would just have to go to our website and then add my email and add my phone number,
Yeah,
and then have options to, I want alerts for this or alerts for that.
correct.
You wouldn't get all alerts, only the ones that
Whatever
you
I
want.
select.
Yeah.
So if you only want park events,
Yeah.
that's the only
Yeah.
ones you'll
Yeah.
get.
Like that code red, but more,
It's just like.
more
sign up.
selective. Yeah.
2,000 customers sign up for it that the town has, and then they can get home alerts or whatever.
Correct.
Be good for weather alerts.
Yes.
Yeah,
There-
It's no different than going to walmart.com and selecting what you want email alerts about.
Could we, just a question, for instance, during the summertime, we have a lot of crashes where we may have to shut down 162, 231. Would it be easy for me to do it myself on my phone and just go on there and put, state road 162 is gonna be closed down due to an accident, blah, 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 and send it out to everybody, and then when it's open, do that again?
Yes, yes.
Is that the?
Yeah, and with any website, even with the website we have now, we could hypothetically, we
Push
could,
it out.
we could create a little
A banner.
ticker at the bottom of it and set that up where you can just update it from your phone. It's not that hard to do. So you can do that with any website, really. But the alerts.
The alerts.
SMS,
The alerts,
more effective.
yeah.
Yeah, because if we could alert, you know, people coming through town, hey, this road shut down, find an alternate route, and then once that crash is cleaned up, then we could, that'd be very beneficial.
Yep.
The forms is, you know, what I like the most. I'm very community minded and I wanna make it as easy on our community members as possible to do town business. I mean, it should be easy. They work full-time jobs, they get home, they wanna be able to do town business without having to take off work early to come in, to get forms to fill out or whatever. With the, fillable forms, with Revise, it's unlimited, we can have as many as we want. We can also have that with Town Web for an upgrade, but with the IN.gov, we're limited to 4, and I can already, on the top of my head, think of more than 4. I mean, we should have a job application that people can apply for jobs, see what jobs are available, and go ahead and apply. We should have building permits, both the improved location and the full building permit packet. We should have, golf cart registration forms. We should have, being able to rent the community center, the rental agreement that they can complete and put the deposit down on. Yeah, if they wanna change your utility service, like, there's so many things that we could offer with these fillable forms. Anytime we wanted to add something, you know, if they wanna be a volunteer, if we have an event, or they wanna, I mean, it would be easy to have these forms so people could just get on and see if the community center is available, rent it, fill out the thing. And you know, when they fill out these forms, we can have it set to go directly to the people that are in charge of those things. So like if they fill out a, improved location permit or a building permit, let's just say Ron gets on there, he fills out his building permit, that will automatically come to my office and to Todd Hayes. It'll automatically, as soon as he submits it, it'll go to both of us. And Pat Moore, if we include him, or whoever we include.
No.
But the same thing
But
with
like
like,
rezoning applications.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would.
That
be-
type of stuff,
I was like,
right.
calling him, saying, I need this, I'm doing the public notice, so I need this rezoning, I need this application from a rezoning or a
Yeah.
right,
variance request or whatever.
Right.
so if they need to request a police, you know, a request for a, accident report or whatever, they can get on, send that request, and when it sends, it'll automatically go to James's email, and, you know, they won't have to look for email addresses, they can just fill out the form, it'll automatically go to the department it needs to go to, which I think is a huge community asset, because so much of the time, like I said, people have to come in to get all these paper forms, they call us, we do email them to people, I mean, we'll be glad to do that, but it's just that they have to find the phone number to call, they have to ask us, you know, who they get this form from, and then we email it to them, and it's just, would be so much easier and better for the community to be able to get on our website and be able to complete town business on their own time and stuff.
And just from a price perspective, somebody would have to remind me, but I think, didn't we pay like $5,000 to do this in 2020?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I think it was
I have
more,
to look.
I think it was more than that.
Yeah.
77 or 75.
This looks like a big number for Revise. That is very, very reasonable, especially with the features, the way it looks. So, you know, from a cost perspective, basically, if we're not willing to spend that kind of money, then we don't even need to worry about it, period, because you're not gonna find something that nice, from what I saw anyways, for that kind of money. And really, from a aesthetics, and also from a usability standpoint, the difference between Revise and Tyler Technologies, the .gov, we all agreed it was a lot different. You know, so there's a lot more custom design ability with Revise versus .gov. They had like 3 templates and that was it. And basically, you're gonna use one. If you don't like it, you can't tweak it. So it's kind of locked in. So
How did we find out about this company, John?
Jesse went out and did some research through other towns and cities. She did all of that, I believe. Am I lying?
No, she
Okay,
did
I
all
thought
of
you
it.
did. She found revised townweb.gov, and then we also,
Islands.
we looked at an island, which is out of Perry County. And they've got some of the features and stuff too, but, it wasn't, we didn't really get a quote from them, so to speak. They just kind of threw some numbers at us, but the features and some of the demos and stuff we saw just weren't what we were looking for. So, you know, we did actually get 4, but these were the 3 that were, you know, the better options.
What other government entities have revised? Do other towns?
County does.
She's got a whole list of
County
them
does.
on the
County.
proposal here.
Okay, good, thank you.
We've looked at so many, I can't tell you.
No, I know.
Locally,
Thank
I believe
you.
it's Boonville and Du Bois County.
Okay,
And Spencer County has it too.
Do they use Revise?
No, not Revise,
oh, the
Gov.
government one,
the government.
yeah, it does.
I sent out,
It's not that it's, you know, it's just, it's very limited.
Yeah,
The .gov versions were, and I think we can do better. So,
Do we know anybody with this company?
with Revise,
Yeah.
yeah, she's got a whole list here. He was just mentioning Boonville,
Locally,
Du Bois
Boonville and Du Bois
County.
County.
No, I meant, do we, you or her, know anybody that works there? or-
No, not
Okay.
personally, no.
Cause
Where-
they're
where
out
they
of Wisconsin?
Yes.
Okay. Is it Michigan? Okay.
now, I sent out the revised proposal a couple months ago. I can go back in my email and resend it if you want. But in that, proposal that they gave us, there are clickable links, that you can get on and look at different towns, links to different towns of websites that they've done. So, and I've personally done that. I'm pretty sure all 4 of us have done that, but I've been
It's
on
been
there
a few
and
months,
looked
I
at
looked at them a while back, and they showed us several of them during the demo, and, it's a good product. It really is.
How would we pay for this? General, or
that would be.
is that where it's coming out of now?
Well, it would, ideally, it would, for the first year, if we did it this year, we would have to decide where the first payment would come out of, because it wasn't budgeted. So we would have to make a decision whether that came out of rainy day, or we would have to reappropriate more money, or how we would have to do that to pay for this year. The future years in the payment plan would all be budgeted. I mean, it would be split between 6 or 8 departments, I
Okay.
guess. And so everyone would have to budget for that. I did the math a few months ago. I think it's just maybe under $500 a department to make the payment. They would all have to put that in their budget.
it's considered an improvement, but it's not a building improvement, so we can't use a fund,
Capital fund?
yeah,
No, because you're
Okay.
not building anything.
cause it's not an actual building.
One thing I brought up too, and I don't know if Jane ever found the answer, or maybe she did, I'm not sure, but, this thing's a tool, but it also gives us the ability to throw sponsors, raise a little money, do some donations, so I don't think we're gonna have any issue with local support covering the cost. If we're able to do that, I don't know what the rules are for municipality, but if we're able to do something like that, I don't think we're gonna have any issue covering the cost.
John had discussed possibly looking at sponsors, and so what we would do is on the town webpage, we would have a tab that
Yeah.
says area businesses. If you're a sponsor, your link to your business page would be
Oh.
put on our page with a link to their,
And I think
To their
that's gonna
website.
generate.
Oh, I think you've got some people
Yeah.
who would definitely do that.
so that is an option. We haven't really presented, but if we did that, then we would have to pay for it out of a sponsorship donation fund. So all of those sponsorships would go into one of our donation sponsorship funds, and then we would pay that annual amount directly from that if we raised enough.
But this year, we'd start with rainy day.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Or-
since it's not in anyone's budget, unless we got enough sponsors
Right.
immediately to do it.
Yeah,
but-
but, you know, I,
Sponsors are basically what we do with our SRO card.
Right.
We reached out to sponsors and said, if you sponsor a portion of the decals,
yeah,
that will put your name on the car, which is on top of the trunk and on the back. So anybody that donated to that car got to put their sticker on there,
Yeah.
basically, which is the same way the rest of
Same
the
concept. Yep.
I think,
What's the startup procedures for something like this, John? How long does it take, once we decide to do it?
Did they say how long? It's got the phases broke down there, but I'm not sure how long the time frame was. I would say if we gave them the green light, we're probably looking at 2 to 3 months.
Okay, do we have a contract with the current company that we gotta stay within for the year, or?
Well, they turned all that over to Brian Penn, so we're
Yeah.
in contract with Brian.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he'll,
And
And
he's aware
He'll
that
release,
he,
yeah.
he's fully on board of us updating our website because it's a problem for him too.
Okay.
He updates it for us and keeps everything going, but
Yeah.
it's it's challenging, so. But yes, Matt Taylor was who we had the
I
contract with.
realize that, yeah.
And so that ended, and his web improvement, all of that ended, and so Brian's just been
Maintaining,
maintaining it for us and
Okay.
charging us, under his contract to keep it going.
okay. Anybody else got any questions? Okay, do we wanna move forward with it tonight, or we wanna table it and talk about it, or?
What do you guys recommend, John?
It's never too late to get started. Never too early to get started, I should say.
Yeah, if we don't have a contract that we don't have to break, that's,
Yeah,
that
that
opens
makes it
it up a
easy.
little easier too.
Yeah, I mean, it's very valuable, I think. It's something that we need to do, I always explain it to people this way. We've got a really cool store with a bunch of cool toys in it, and the building doesn't have any windows on it, so nobody knows what's in it. So,
That's a good.
We need
have
to
a
have,
written contract from them.
It'll save money. It's like if I learned, I went to a new billing software that allows me to do whenever I put in a client, whenever I update my calendar, if I put anything in my calendar and assign a client, whenever you open a matter, you put who it should be texted to or emailed to. I don't have to call clients and say, your hearing's been set for next Thursday. It automatically, boom, text them. And again, you can see whether they open the text. Cause I had one just recently saying, well, you never told me about this meeting. We were so bad. I was like, right here, I said, when it went in my calendar, you got a text and you opened it on this day. So, oh, maybe I did get a text from you, I just don't remember getting a text from you.
Well, and
But it
so-
does, and forms, I mean, the clerk's office doesn't have to deal with people coming in and getting forms and things if they're just.
And also, like in the future, we're looking at this park project. I mean,
That's great.
if we wanna do a mass, try to raise funds for that, I mean, we can have donations set up for people to be able to get online and make donations to that. I mean, ultimately, it's easier, I mean, if you make it easy for people,
Yeah.
and they can scan a QR code on an event flyer, and that'll link them to, our payment processing, like we take our utility bills or whatever, and they can easily make a donation, they're gonna do it. If we make it difficult on them, they're not gonna take the time to donate to anything. And, we've got this big park project coming up, that we're gonna need community support on that, to help raise money and, push that. And so that's also gonna enable us to have more opportunities to raise money for trails, to raise money for the park, to raise money for, any event that we do,
If we don't do something with it tonight, we'll be talking about it 6 months from now. I'll make a motion to go ahead and move forward with the web service contract or whatever with Revise.
I'll second it.
first and second from Jason and Trish. I got a comment. Do we have a contract for Kevin to look over?
we just have the proposals right now. We can get one as soon as you guys wanna look at it. And we can send you all 3 of these. They all 3 send us proposals if you wanna look at them and click through the
No,
demos, all that stuff.
you guys did the work.
Yeah, you did the footwork.
I think it's the right decision. One thing I will add to, another feature that we didn't discuss, is calendar integration, which is gonna be huge, because Zach and Jesse are really starting to, Zach's done a really good job the past 4 years getting the facilities back to where they were and better. But it's time to get more community involvement with programming, like the walking, the coffee, all of that stuff, amping up memberships with letting people know about the fitness center.
Anything.
A lot of people don't even know it's there. And anybody that's walked in that building the past 2 2-3 years can see a huge difference. So
Okay,
having that calendar integration will help us show people what's going on, where and when, so they can plan things a
Okay.
little better.
So is the
We have a-
10,750, that the total cost to get it started now, or do we add the 3,000? What's the first
No,
payment?
No, so if you looked at a payment plan,
Yeah,
that is the total, $45.50 each year for 5 years.
oh, okay.
And
And
that
then
$45.50,
3,000
plus part of the initial cost.
Yeah.
it's just packaged into one price per year.
I get you.
And then that would be divided up between the 6 to 8 departments.
outside of donations.
Outside of, yeah.
Okay.
If we went the
And
donation.
that's what I was saying, Brian, if you look across there, 45.50 for revised, 4,400 plus for town web, and then the .gov is 8,000. You're basically looking at the same thing annually, and it's, you're about $4,500 ballpark.
I got you.
okay. Any other?
If I would suggest the motion be to approve the revised and authorize Kevin and
Subject.
Jane to execute the contract upon my approval of the
Okay.
contract.
Can we,
Revise my motion to authorize Jane and Kevin to approve the contract with revised, what is it?
After Patmore review.
After Kevin Patmore's review of the
Very
contract.
good. And I still second it.
you still second it? Okay. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let it be known, it passes 5-0.
Thank you, appreciate it. I'll get Russ on some coding classes here soon, so he can do all that.
Russ, you missed it. You're gonna be doing the coding classes?
You got your first class Friday morning.
I'll be your number one lead student.
Thank you, Parks.
Good evening, Kyle.
You have my report, any questions? Things are picking up just a little.
Yeah, starting to.
What's CLV sign variance?
They got their variance, for the type sign they put
LED
in.
sign.
Oh,
LED sign at the front gate.
oh, okay.
I seen they removed it though.
Well,
They're
I'm getting a new one.
Yeah.
Oh.
That one apparently didn't meet their desires.
Any more talks with the neighbor across the street? With the lights? The dollar store?
Yeah, they are, Greg Robinson's gonna be doing their work for them, so. Doing a total rehaul of the whole, the way the building looks, new roof, signs, I told him we needed to get those signs, get the lights fixed in there, so they're supposed to do that. So
Okay,
it's under contract, I believe.
okay, cool.
Yep, there we go. We got Ron Smith. I think he's got some questions.
Yes, I do. Number one, I applied for a building permit on the longest drive almost 3 weeks ago. Last Friday, I got called and said I couldn't have one. And I wanna know why. I supplied everything that they needed. I have sewer, I have water, I have property that's, we own it, it's free and clear. I will not provide, I was told by him I couldn't get a building permit.
Because the plat has only received preliminary approval at this point.
It doesn't have nothing to do with the plat, the property was there before, they built on it before, I'm building it now. Now, not that it won't fall in that same plat at the same time, right now, I want to build them and keep them, as far as you're concerned.
You were never platted before, though.
Makes no difference, it wasn't platted before, and you built them, and you built them, I didn't change anything.
Yes, you have submitted a plat.
I have submitted a plat, but it makes no difference. I provided you. People built those units there before. There was never no plat.
That's because it was retained, if there was a plat submitted, then they couldn't have built those. Until
Well,
they had
I-
final approval of the plat.
It makes no, I'm still building under the same pretense that they did. What did I change? Nothing changed.
Yes,
People,
a
no, I did
preliminary-
not, I did not.
Then withdraw the preliminary plat, then you can build them.
That,
If you withdraw the preliminary plat, then you can build them. But the way the ordinance is read, which you signed as president of the town council, I'm sure, if a preliminary plat has been submitted and you only have preliminary approval, not final approval, you cannot build, you cannot sell, you cannot market the property until you have final plat approval. That's what the ordinance says. And that's why I told Todd, he can't issue a permit because a preliminary plat has been approved.
We'd just like to have all this, Kevin, can you please document these decisions and send them so that.
send to me in written form so I can send it to my engineer.
Yeah, we want to send it on to Cash Wagner because Cash Wagner will approach these things directly. So I know that we had one of our engineers here last time from Cash Wagner. So we prefer that any and all decisions made, and let me just clarify, does every decision that he make has to go through you, is that correct?
No.
Because apparently he didn't, from what Ron had said, he didn't give a reason, but apparently it came from you. So that's why we just want to clarify, should we go directly to you?
He had, no, you should not.
Okay, because, well, we're just trying to clarify.
I gave a quotation of the ordinance that I was given.
I'm sorry, say it again?
I was given an ordinance, and I gave that as the reason he wasn't given.
No, it should go to him. He asked me as the town's attorney, is it proper to give a building permit on this property? And I said, no, not under the town's ordinance.
Because I think that from what Cash Wagner had discussed with you last time, as long as we didn't sell the property, we could build. And we could do it.
I've never discussed anything.
Well, that's why I want you to put it in
I
writing.
have
So-
never discussed anything with Cash Wagner.
Well, we had the engineer here, so that, somebody discussed it with him. So, why don't we do this? Like I said, please, if you would, put this decision in writing so that Cash Wagner can respond to you, because from this point forward, so that we don't have any more, esoteric answers coming from from one person to another. We want everything documented so that we have a paper trail of all these, because over the next 3 years, we may be the largest investor in this community. And we probably will be, force majeure notwithstanding. So accordingly, we want to have everything decision-wise coming out of the zoning board, votes from the county, from the local community, and whether it's a public forum or whatever. We want all these things documented very closely so that we, and then that means every approval that has to come through, if you don't mind. We need documentation on all of this. It can't just be full votes.
There is documentation.
No, I'm saying that when Ron called up for this decision, and Todd said, well, no, you can't do it, then send it in writing in an email.
Now, because the thing about it is, I asked for this building permit 3 weeks ago. 2.5 to 3 weeks ago, it sat on your desk, so don't tell me you didn't.
Not all the paperwork.
Yes, it did.
Not
Yes,
all
it
the
was.
paperwork, Ron. You
Yes,
never
it
get
was
all the
bullshit,
paperwork.
I call bullshit.
Let's
Okay.
calm down, calm down.
I can show you when I sent it in.
Come on, let's settle down, you guys.
So it makes no difference. It makes no difference. I put it in, and it takes me 2.5 weeks to get a building permit back.
Or at least an answer.
At least an answer.
The
Now,
answer's the main
that's irrelevant anymore. Nothing about that. That's fine.
But we
But
want
it
all
takes
the
me,
money.
and I'd already ran it past Russ, because I talked about whether I had to pay a sewer tap, or had to pay a water tap. I sent all that stuff, documentation in ahead of time. I asked, because, what it was gonna be, because it was all done in my financial stuff that I have to do for his corporation and mine, whatever. But the fact remains is, it sat there for, I know, 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks.
The plan did, but not the paperwork.
I don't know about
It's
that.
never, we're always waiting on.
But anyway.
paperwork, Ron. Okay.
Regardless.
Well, like I said, just.
But anyway, the whole thing is.
One second, Ron. Anytime there's a decision, just please
I understand.
respond.
I'm just saying, I don't like,
Copy our company and him, because it's ultimately our land.
well, it's outside of what we normally do, but I will respond.
Well, in all honesty, anytime there's a decision made, something like this, where something is rejected, if that's something outside you normally do, then I don't know why you're not doing it, because.
Well, it has been done at the APC, it has it not. The paperwork and all of that has been.
Well, I'm just saying that anytime you refute, anytime you reject something, there should be something in writing explaining why.
I didn't quite get the answer as quickly as I needed it.
You had to get it from him, right?
And no, I mean, I'm just saying, when I come in, it's not something I know for sure about, so I have
You
to
have to go
find
to
out.
Patmore, I know.
And what do we need?
It's not like I'm
what-
ultimately the dumbass in the room. How many houses have I built in this town? How many permits have I sent in this town? So don't give me that BS. I'm not ignorant to the law in here. But regardless, that's fine.
What do we need to
We'll do what we
move
gotta do
forward
from
right
now on,
now?
okay?
What do we need to do right now?
Right now, we just want the answer on why they're rejecting it, so we can share it with our.
I mean, it makes no difference. If that's what we have to do, we're gonna write the check, okay?
No, but still, I still want anytime.
I understand.
I think
Anytime
he
there's
sent,
an action.
he sent an email with the exact language out of the ordinance.
Who got
I
it?
have not got it.
Nobody has it.
It was through text.
I have not
Because
got
that's
it.
how we were coming.
I have not, and I don't have an exact text
Ron,
from
one
him or
second,
anything.
please. Ron, one
I do
second.
not have one.
From this point forward.
So you never received a text from him?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I may have made a mistake. We talked on the phone, did we
We
not?
did talk,
Okay.
but
then I-
you just explained it, and I asked you to have him call me, and
I did.
nobody,
I did.
and nobody called me. And nobody called me back.
The response was that it was gonna be the same answer that I gave you.
I didn't make any
Well, it's
difference.
still,
Did
like I
I
said,
ask for a call?
All we want.
I'm not big enough in this town to at least expect a phone call back.
From the building inspector, you would.
Yeah, I did, but I
not from
said
him.
I wanted to explain, because his explanation was not to my understanding.
He got his answer from Patmore, so that's why he called, that's why he asked for Patmore to call him. But still.
And I don't get enough respect to at least get a phone call?
I thought he was, I gave him the exact language out of the ordinance.
Well, I told him explicitly to have you call me, and nobody did.
So you need to make an email and send it to,
No, it needs to come to me.
to you
I
first.
report to
Okay,
Joe.
okay,
You go through me.
okay, because,
My name's still on the building permit.
all right,
Joe's, yeah, he's the majority owner of that, but my name's still on the building permit.
okay.
Okay.
So do it as an email.
I mean, I deserve that much. I'm not no dummy in this town.
But did you two talk about that ordinance?
Yeah, but I said
Okay,
I wanted
okay, okay.
explanation.
Okay,
Okay.
I don't deserve an explanation.
so that's a communication.
The ordinance
Error.
would state what you were
I
required to do.
understand, that might
But
be,
we also-
but I don't deserve an explanation.
You
He
would,
couldn't explain,
the only thing we could explain to you, this is what the ordinance
I
was,
understand.
how it was written,
You
and
just
when it was
wanted a
passed.
written copy
Well,
of the
I think
information.
more than, because he could, I said, I don't think that's right.
Well, and like
Now,
I said,
because I'm back to, just like he said, my name was probably on that damn ordinance.
Okay,
I'm 99% sure it was, but regardless, we gotta get from here to there. That's over with. We're gonna take care of it, okay? That's what we're gonna do.
look,
We just asked for it, we're gonna ask for it in written stuff.
Ron, let me finish. We have an engineering firm, obviously Cash Wagner. We want Cash Wagner, anytime there's, because they are well versed in all of the codes and things of this nature. So that way there's no ambiguity, because whatever it is that, you know, once Ron has it in writing, if he doesn't know directly, he can go to Cash Wagner and say, hey, this doesn't jive with what we worked on with you, can you please address this to the town? So we need a paper trail of any decision like this, that, especially if it's a decision not in our favor at the time we make it. So this is all we're requesting, it's not anything out of the order, and it sure as hell shouldn't be anything out of normal operations of a zoning commission.
I would think he would need to respond to Ron,
Yes.
and Ron would need to respond to you, and you to Cash
Well,
Wagner.
I'll deal with it.
We're not gonna
Okay.
be.
No.
No.
Okay.
You deal with me.
Okay,
You deal with me. I'll take care of me and Joe.
Whoever
and
names
Cash
on the
Wagner.
building
If
permit
they
is
send
who
it to
we
me, I'll
should
send
be
it to
dealing
Cash
with.
Wagner, okay?
But we do want it back in writing, that's the
That's
main.
right.
okay.
In a
Okay.
timely manner. So I
Okay.
mean, what would you consider to be a timely matter, Todd?
Well, whenever all the paperwork's in.
No, if you're saying no, and you're providing the explanation, how soon can you, if you're saying, well, we're not gonna issue this.
Are you saying now?
Right.
Currently, when's the timely manner?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna say, no, I'm gonna reject this, that should actually go out in writing, not a phone call. And that should go out at the earliest opportunity that you've made that decision. So after you make that decision, how much administrative time do you need?
As soon as I find out that it's not up to what needs to be there, the standard, or they've got,
But I'm saying if
okay, I will put that in writing.
Okay, so, but I'm just saying, if you don't know right away, then you're obviously gonna find out from Patmore.
I'm gonna find out somebody that knows.
Likely Patmore, but still, what I'm saying is, as soon as you find out, all we want you to do is to please issue it to Ron in writing, okay? That's your earliest opportunity, and then, knowing that, well, 5 minutes after I got it, no, within a reasonable period of time, please just say, here's our decision based on this. And that gives us a chance to then go to our engineers and find out everything we need to know to rectify it, okay? That's all we're asking. All right, thank you.
So, from the earlier conversation, just so Kevin, you said there was, what he wanted to do was not in line with the current.
It only has
Right,
preliminary, once you submit a plat, it's
Right.
a preliminary plat until you complete all the improvements or post a construction bond.
Okay.
They opted not to do that, so it has not received final approval of the plat. You are not allowed to build, market, sell any property in that subdivision
Okay.
until
And
you have
is,
final plat.
Or,
is this
you
on a
said-
paper
or-
he
he's-
can-
Wait, he said, or
drop the
you can
plat?
withdraw the
Withdraw
plat.
the preliminary plat.
Which we're not gonna do.
Okay, I'm just- I
We're not to do
wanna-
that.
Okay.
And again, this is,
The reason the building occurred there before is it was never platted. It was laid out as if it was a plat because when Russ Winkler came to build the original duplexes in there, I suggested to him to make sure that all of those duplexes are built such that, because he said, I'm not gonna sell any property, I'm gonna keep all these duplexes because they're for golf packages. But I suggested to him at the time, it would be a good idea when you're laying out these duplexes to make sure it does meet the town's requirements as to a plat, in case you ever do want to sell one of them. So we laid it out as a plat, so all the setbacks, side setbacks, rear setbacks, everything is constructed up to town standards. Because now, I presume they're not going to maintain ownership of the existing duplexes or.
Well, because they're gonna be, we're using his plat as part of the original plat, as part of the new plat. His plat is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So the lot that I was gonna build on is one that he actually had platted, and it's still part of the preliminary. That we submitted
It
to the
was drawn,
town.
but it was never submitted as a preliminary plat or.
But
a
it
final
is-
plat.
Kevin, let me ask you a quick question. Had we never decided to build, which we will be, this is all part of the starting of this. Had we never decided to extend and buy and build on the 4 acres that are along 16, and we decided to build, what would have been the decision of the town?
He could build a duplex in there,
But
but you can't sell it. He
we're not
could
gonna
have, he
sell
could
it.
have built one back, yeah, before you submitted the preliminary plat under the town ordinance.
We've already submitted this preliminary plat,
Unfinished,
problem.
unplatted property, and
Right.
he could have built one on there,
Okay, well, like
but
I
he
said,
couldn't have sold it.
cash back rule, any questions they
Just
have?
like the existing duplexes that are there, you cannot sell one of those existing duplexes right now until that land is platted.
Right, and we understand, like I said,
Because those are not town streets.
again, all this is just for us to have, work with our engineers on this, okay? That's all we're asking for.
And our only goal is that in the meantime, but we're not gonna not do what we're gonna do. I just needed to have, I just wanted to market something we had, I needed something to show.
We're gonna get it recorded here in the extremely near future,
Very.
no matter what. But it's just that, we're just trying to align our schedules, and so I went ahead and submitted the building permit, knowing that, we're not, the damn thing won't even hardly be started by the time that we, have the plat submitted and, recorded. So that's all. It was just a matter of him wanting to, get the paperwork in, okay?
So the
that's all.
timeliness was definitely a
I'm
slam.
just fighting the weather.
Yes.
What I'm trying,
Right.
I wanna have something on the market, or whether I sell them or not, I want to have something come springtime.
And do you have that document that you can email right away, or do you need to get him that document?
You've got it.
Okay.
The town
Okay.
ordinance.
It'll be, it's in there, I
Well, a
understand.
specific instance in the town.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't
Now, as long as I'm sitting here griping, now we're gonna talk about my sewer bill.
Oh, yeah.
I've got 3 houses in the village right now, has no water hooked up. They're just sitting there, they're not sitting there, they're working on them. I usually put the sewer in as soon as I put the basement in. As as soon as I put the foundation in. My personal house has been hooked up since May, so it's almost 10 months, 11 months, 10 months. And I paid $400 in sewer bills, and I got a water bill meter last week, but no water in it. I've got 2 other houses, one on Snowball and one on Prancer, that I paid another 6, 8 months of sewer bill already on. No water, so I'm not putting nothing in the sewer. But because I decided to put the sewer in as soon as I put the foundation in, because I want all the utilities to dig around me, I don't have to dig around them. First in, they have to work around me, I don't have to dig around them. So, you know, I paid almost $900 in sewer bills and have yet to put water in sewer. I don't think the sewer should start until the water meter goes in.
But how do we know that somebody's not putting something down?
Now, what are you gonna do, Kevin? You gonna go in there and take a 5-gallon bucket and dump something down the sewer on a new house?
A worker might, Ron, I don't know.
Yeah, 5 gallons? How much are you gonna carry?
I don't know. But as soon as we make a tap, you start the expense.
There's no expense. I'm not giving you, I'm not putting anything until I have put the water meter in. Until that water meter goes in, because you might have a temporary out there, but you don't have nothing hooked into the house. Because the plumber has to put the water meter to the utilities and on the inside when they hook up the water on the inside of the house. Because I have to call them to get the water meter brought to the house.
How have we been doing this, Russ?
That's exactly the way we've been doing it. Once the ability to use a sewer is there, you're being charged for it. The analogy that I would use would be like renting a car. You rent a car, right, for 3 days, you park it at the hotel, now you're not using it, but you still have the ability to use it. That's the intent of the way that this ordinance was set up.
How long has that been on the books, you know?
Well,
I've been
as
doing,
long as
I've
I
been here
can
30 plus years.
Okay.
It's been that way ever since.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's right to charge sewer until the actual water bill, the water meter goes into the house. Because you're not putting anything into the sewer. I just do it because I don't have to dig around somebody else, I don't have to dig around all the gas lines, water lines and everything else and wait till the last minute to hook the sewer in.
Understand that. That's something we could talk as a council at another date, but it's not on the agenda tonight.
Yeah, let's add something about discussing, yes.
In the sewer 2 times the water rate?
Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
How are we?
I just have to pay the minimum. $37 a month, $36 a month every month.
So, yeah, put that on the agenda for next time, so we can.
And I'm not putting no water, you're not putting any water in. Once the water meter goes in, I can understand.
Okay.
Usage.
All right, I'm done bitching.
It was nice to hear you. Sorry for delays.
Anything else?
So in the
Okay.
future, near future, when we get this website going that John wants to get going, in the building permit section, I would like to see a check sheet in that section. That if you don't have A completed, you can't go to B. If you don't have B completed, you can't go to C. To
Maybe.
get some of this nonsense bullshit.
And, yeah, an explanation of the plat. I don't know how we put all that in there, but
To the ordinance.
I
The
know.
ordinance is around there.
So the
And I want all the
ordinances will be
building
on this.
permit Ordinance
Black
and
and white,
stuff
really.
in that section.
In that
It's like a
section,
tab, you
yes,
look at it.
yes. That's gonna take some organization, but it will be very helpful, I'm sure.
We can work on
Okay,
that once we get the website.
okay. We'll get it. Okay, but next time,
But
let's
right now,
talk-
when somebody comes for a permit, all that stuff's listed, what they're supposed to have to turn in, correct?
But this is a different situation with the plat, the new plat.
It is.
That's what is, I think that's what caused all the delay.
But it's an
And-
existing piece of property that had existing buildings.
I know, but it wasn't platted and now it's in preliminary plat. So it's like a catch-22. So,
It's the first time for me in 5
Yeah.
years.
so
4 years,
we will get you the documentation.
so.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks for coming.
Well, thank you guys very much for taking care of that. Like I said, we just, because of the amount of construction, you'll start to see a lot of things happening, just not to waste a lot of your time, but actually, I do have one question, Claus, I think I asked you about this. You're gonna smooth out the road bump right there, correct? Is there any way we can have that wait until the week after Labor Day?
We're planning on doing it in the fall,
Okay, because.
and we're gonna reroute traffic on another road and have it open. We're gonna try to have it open to the side parking lot, right, Russ? We talked about this a million times. That end opening to your side parking lot.
Well, I think what Joe is proposing is that you'll have the golf course shut down. Jim.
9 holes of it, 9 holes?
9 holes of it.
Right.
Some of you
Right.
probably heard, we hired, we had a bidding process, and we hired, Pete Dye, 37-year disciple named Chris Lutsky. And, so for the first time since I was 3 years old, Patton was probably born, 68 when we first opened, we are refreshing the course, new irrigation, new everything, a couple of new hole designs and so forth. So it's actually our first large ticket undertaking beginning the week after Labor Day. So the back 9, which is inside the village, that will be, that we will start on that side. When that's finished, we will begin on the other side. And when the other 9 holes starts, there will be no golf at all until the grass on the second 9 holes goes back in. So we'll probably not have much, if any, golf next year. But this is part of the overall development plan, which we'll have a dog and pony sometime in the near future once we finish our financial modeling and all that. So everybody can kind of see where we're going with that. Because obviously there'll be some zoning matters to it, probably not for the refreshing the golf course, the damn thing, just the ordinance improving that, but for everything else, we'll obviously want to show you all what we're doing, because, I'm sorry, get out of your way, I kind of stumbled on that. But we'll come back in and kind of share that with everybody and kind of see where we're going. But right now, because we have a very large capital campaign facing us, we're working strictly on our financial modeling and so forth for the various areas. So there's nothing to really talk about until such time we convince ourselves we won't lose our ass on it. So,
Okay.
anyway, all right, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
you.
Joe.
What are you gonna do with all your time?
Go to the
I've
go to
been,
the
I've been
Pearl.
playing for a while.
Yeah, go to the Pearl.
Anything else, Tom?
The fact is that paperwork is never completely finished, ever.
We are aware of this.
Then we shouldn't
When I'm
accept
dealing
it.
with
Then we should fire an email back to him, letting him know we're not moving any further until this is all completed.
It has been the story, which is a sad story.
I think Jason's right.
That was the story with the plan.
Because if he's emailing everybody, it's not like it's gonna be a full-time job, I'm just gonna double his workload, letting everybody know, I need this, you need that.
Yeah, and I
They should submit that checklist with their.
Oh, yeah, once we get that set up.
If I'm able to say, hey, Jane, can you have the girls email? I don't have a computer myself here, so to email, it's on the phone. I mean, I can work that way.
Yeah,
Do we have a checklist for that?
No,
We
it's-
used
it's-
to have.
We will.
Okay.
Checklist.
And if that checklist is not big, village, we can't even apply for it. No, goes to us.
yeah,
It's just partial paperwork, always.
I know.
Every time, and it's like,
We had
okay.
one great, I mean, hearing it was just, I mean, smooth as silk.
We-
Never done
we
it before
want-
at one time.
we want that development.
How long this is
Every time,
plus-
every single time.
We want the development.
Okay,
That's all I.
Thank you.
cool. See you
Thanks for
Monday.
bringing the
I
joy.
thought my part was gonna be different.
Thank you for the
Just gonna make a comment, all the meetings that we have, including this room and the APC, Bozo, there is minutes, and they are part of the town's records. And they are all signed off by the board members of those particular groups. And so it's for the public to see if they wish.
I'm not gonna stir such a stink. All I have is my monthly report. I promised Jane I wouldn't talk tonight, so that's all I got. And, frankly, after that, I really don't have much more to say. Any questions?
We got the new truck running the roads yet?
We're still waiting on the United States Postal Service. I sent that for the plate and registration January 29th. It was sent to Indianapolis, and it was scanned in San Paul, scanned in Evansville, scanned in the warehouse in Indianapolis, and that's where it's set ever since. It's never made it to the state PMD yet. So I asked the Postal Service, what's my option? Well, we're not sure. I said, do I need to cancel the check that I sent them, resubmit paperwork, pay to have it overnighted this time, or what do I need to do? We'll get back with you. I'm not back with you just yet, so it's a shame it's just sitting there. It needs to be utilized, but unfortunately, we cannot go to a local DMV because it's a government vehicle. Everything has to go through Indianapolis.
Can you drive up to Indianapolis and get a plate?
Well, I sure can, but I really hate 465. If that's what you want me to do, I will.
You can make
Yes,
good time
The only
on it.
other option would be to cancel everything, resubmit.
Start over.
Resubmit the 10 pages of paperwork that you have to fill out. Yes, all the forms, write a new check, have the town write a new check, overnight it, or literally drive it to the DMV up there and say, hey, here it is, can I just get a license plate? So I'm not sure. I'm not, like I said, I've been working with U.S. Postal Service and I haven't really got the answers that I want yet.
He's not the only person dealing with this.
No, there's a
No.
lot going on.
I've had 2 certified loss this year. Certified mail, just lost.
Well, I know even our post office has been incredibly frustrated.
Well, even when the BNB and the USPS was working correctly, I mean, we were a month and a half getting back.
Yeah. Just the postal service right now.
Multiply that by 3 now, probably.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like now.
It was scanned in, so I asked, people here at our post office, I said, so she checked it, yep, it's scanned in. I said, so where's it scanned in to? She said, the Indianapolis main hub. She said, it's probably in a big,
Bin.
nice square tote with a bunch of other mail, and she said that's where it's gonna sit until somebody gets it to, 19th Street, Suite 100.
Do you have your copy of your paperwork?
Absolutely, I got copies of everything.
How much work is that to cancel a check and?
We can cancel it and reissue it, it's just more work on him to.
I know it
do all the
is.
Paperwork and get all those.
But if he's
stuff
got
documents
his-
Together.
I got copies of everything. so
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a big deal to reissue it.
I don't know, I think it might be,
Yes, it may not.
I know.
Like said, I've had a certified mail going to Kansas City to a line.
Yeah.
It's either since February 3rd.
Yeah, I
It still
think,
shows it at the distribution center in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I have a letter sitting in Mount Vernon, Illinois right now, it's been here for 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Just short of, like I said, canceling it and starting
Yeah.
all over again and then, potentially overnighting it.
yeah, that's what,
So on the other truck, the one that I drive, it took them about 3 weeks. So I mean, we're already looking.
we're at almost
Yeah,
2.5
We're
months,
going 2.5 months right now. 3 weeks,
2 months.
I can handle it.
No, that's
Yeah,
too long.
processing time at BNB is gonna be another 3 weeks.
I know.
And when you call Indianapolis B&B, basically I'll sit in my office and put it on speakerphone. And the other day when I called them last Thursday, actually, I was on hold for an hour and a half and then it popped up and said our phone lines are too busy, please call back or leave a message. And I'm like, after an hour and a half.
So that brings up this little thing I was gonna discuss under mine, but since we're discussing the postal service, I wanted to just provide you guys a copy with, the state statute. We have an increasing amount of people who, are very upset about penalties being added to their bills, at no fault of ours, and also.
You
no
guys-
fault to the customer.
You guys hold it down so we can hear.
Due to the postal service not getting payments to us on time. I had Ray, who spent lots of time yelling at me, yelling at my staff, yelling at sending emails and everything. And I just want you guys to be aware, just in case you hear of these complaints, I cannot waive the penalties on these accounts. I cannot pick and choose who gets penalties, who doesn't, the payment is on time when it's received in our office per the ordinance and policy. It has to be received in our office. It's not our error that the post office is not delivering the mail. Although I sympathize with the community, I can't waive penalty fees. And the reason I can't waive penalty fees is I am personally liable out of my own personal bank account to pay any penalty fees that I waive because I choose to do so. I'm not following the law. Here's the ordinance, which is what I provided, that says an intentional disregard of the requirements. So if I intentionally disregard our ordinance and the penalties we have in place, then I am personally liable for that. I'm not trying to be mean to anyone when they call, but we have well over 2,000 customers, and if I waive penalty fees here and there, I'm gonna personally go bankrupt. Like, I can't afford to pay penalty fees for customers. I can't. I'm not wealthy, I can't do it. So
That should never be
I
your
cannot
obligation.
waive these fees. So I'm not trying to be a difficult clerk treasurer. I'm not trying to not work with the community, but that is the reason. The penalty fees cannot be waived. The payments are due on the 26th of every month. I inform all of the public of the options that they can not use United Postal Service to make sure their bills are here on time. They can have it automatically withdrawn from their bank account at no charge. We have a 24-hour 7 drop box that they can use. They can pay online. There is a fee to use the credit card, but it's minimal compared to some of the penalties that people have. We take payments over the phone. They can call my office. We will run their payment for them over the phone. There's multiple ways, and I'm not trying to say you shouldn't use the Postal Service, but I can't control when you put something in the mail when it's gonna get to me. So I try to give everyone plenty of options to pay their payments on time, so they don't have to get penalties, but it's more of a public service announcement of saying, I sympathize that you're getting penalty fees. I'm sure they're getting them from multiple people that are also receiving their payments late. But unless you guys want to change the ordinance, and I encourage people to come to the meetings to voice their complaints, but until the ordinances are changed, the penalty, the process for the penalties, I have to follow that. And if I intentionally disregard that, I'm gonna get penalized for that and have to pay that personally. So I just want everyone to be aware that I'm not being difficult. It's just that I can't afford to personally pay out penalty fees.
Jane, it also works the other way when you guys are mailing bills out to our people. I'm gonna pick on myself. We didn't get February's payment, bill.
Yeah.
And we happened to call, got the amount, and we paid it. And then 2 weeks later, I got my invoice.
Right. But when we
After the
take
due
these-
date.
When we
Yep.
take these to the post office, we get documentation from
That
the
they
post
delivered
office
them.
when we took them there and when they were put in the mail. And we are following state statute on that. We are getting them there on time, earlier than in the past, because I've been really pushing my girls to get them processed and get them to the post office as early as we possibly can. They are doing that. These girls are working diligently to get these payments to the post office the absolute earliest that we can get them there.
You gotta understand, our mail goes from Santa Claus to Tell City to Louisville.
Yep.
Back to Tell City, and then back to us.
Yeah.
Stephanie did tell me if you're sending things to people in Santa Claus, and I think it's Lamar or Evanston, if you tell her when you take them in that these are for this local customer, she's supposed to send them out to.
She can
We don't
bypass.
She
have a
will
local
bypass
drop
that.
box no more.
She
But
will
the-
not do that for our.
No,
Not for
I
utility
don't know if
bills.
you can with that, but,
For
like
local.
local mail, if I was to send Trish something, like a bill.
We discussed this.
I would specifically tell her, make sure Trish gets this tomorrow, and she will put it right into, she'll just postmark it and put it directly into somebody's mailbox for local people, so just as a PSA to everybody.
Okay,
And
but
you-
they can't do,
And I understand there are some people who, you know, aren't real good with computers or whatever, but again, I mean, we give people our phone number, they can call our office. It's always due on the 26th, so if you haven't received your bill
it's still
by
due on the
the
26th.
15th, 16th, 17th, you can always call our office and get the amount of what the bill is. You can go on our website and view your bill, you can get it by email. And like I said, I know not everyone is computer savvy, but you know, I hear that a lot, that, you know, what about the elderly? Well, they're really the ones who make sure their bills are paid on time. And they're the ones that come into my office or call me and get their bills to me on time. Because if they haven't got it in the mail, they're worried about it, and they're calling or coming in. But there are options. I mean, if you haven't received your bill in the mail, you can go to the website, you click on the pay my bill. You don't actually have to pay your bill, but you can click on that and it will bring up your invoice for you to view. And like I said, we do offer paperless billing as well. I mean, so you can get those sent to you by text message, you can get them sent to your email, you can send them both. You can get a paper bill and a paperless billing. I mean, we really do try to offer
Ways to pay.
so many ways to pay. And we do work with anybody, and like I said, I mean, they just have to call if they have a question, if they don't know how much your bill is, they haven't received it yet, it's due on the 26th, they just call and we'll tell them. So, I mean, anyway, I just wanted, I know you guys are probably getting complaints about me not waiving fees, and I just wanted everyone to be aware of why that decision is being made, so.
You cannot waive fees.
I do not have the authority to do that.
No.
Anything else?
That's it, that's all I got. She don't supposed me tonight.
I did. You'll have to blame me next time.
Russ?
I don't know any current superstar, but I feel like I'm following papers with tonight. Anyway, I do have a whole litany of things to discuss tonight. We have bids for, sealed bids for surplus equipment as well as a mini excavator that we sent quotes out for. I don't know what the council desires. Do we want to start out with those
We can,
first?
if that's what you wish to do.
We can breeze through the other stuff pretty quickly.
That's the fellow with the, for the excavator, is he with the excavator company?
I'm with local equipment, yeah.
Y'all
Oh,
did it first.
I thought everybody was here.
He's waiting, I said behind him, I kept saying behind him.
I've been sleeping mostly.
The mini X is much in demand, you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
you
we
Oh,
used to
well,
list
yeah,
here,
you
1,
did.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vendors. And I do have to apologize to most of the Midwest and Kevin and Jane. Everybody.
Okay.
On the process that we went through.
Need somebody to take you out?
On that later. But,
Is he okay?
hopefully everybody understood the final result and we'll get some good
Is
quotes.
he leaving?
Mm-hmm, he's leaving.
Okay.
The first is from McCoy.
Yeah, I think he has somebody else to pick him up. So maybe that's it.
So Kevin, just to give you a synopsis of what's going on there, so I asked for a quote for the standard machine. I didn't have them, offer some alternates or options, and then there should be, a trade-in value, listed on there for our old equipment.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with. So we had some people probably bid just on the mini X to buy it, because we also issued a surplus equipment, right? Or was this just, was that not listed on the surplus?
No, it was not.
Oh, okay. So McCoy bid with the trade-in $56,480.15, which they're giving $8,500 for the trade.
Can you repeat the number, please?
$56,480.15.
Thank you.
Russ, our trade-in is what, how many hours?
You
I'll get
remember?
it. Bobcat 425G, 2300.
That sounds right, 2200 some change.
Got a time and everything on it?
Yes.
Boyd and Sons Machinery.
So Jason, I don't think you were here during the last conversation about this, but, that Bobcat we had was a 2008, and it's been such a good machine. We just had a failure in it that it would just make more sense to trade it
Oh,
off.
so it's not running?
Right, well, it is, but not very healthy.
The $8,500 trade-in value kind of.
Really?
Ready for, this is, as I said,
Yeah, I'm
Boyd.
sorry.
who did I say it was?
Boyd,
Machinery.
Boyd.
Boyd and Sons Machinery, Machinery. $51,360.67. That is with 5,000 for the trade. So the net price is 51,360.67. Hope Equipment. After trade-in, $47,139.37. That's $47,139.37. Because of 12,000 for the trade.
12,000.
Boyd Cat, out of Pennsylvania.
Is that the same people
No.
that you said? Boyd?
Boyd and Sons and Boyd Cat.
But I gotta go.
Okay,
Thanks for
see
coming.
you later.
You guys.
Kiss the baby for me.
When?
Little one, I'll think, yeah, I'll think,
Be safe.
$57,054.10. That's 57,054.10 with 3,500 for the trade. Hudson Inc. $51,900 even. $51,900. That's 5,000 for the trade. Right implement. Owensboro.
Is that WR?
Mhm.
WRI.
Yep.
sure Tommy's be able to put their bid form on top. Please place your bid form on top, so Kevin doesn't have to read through.
I'll send them a check.
$62,303.63.
52,303?
62.
62.
62.
Yeah.
62,303.63.
What's a trade?
That's 5,000 for the trade. And this is another one from Right Implement. $46,903.52. That's with 5,000 off for the trade. So it's 46,903.52.
Are those two different pieces of equipment that Wright did?
Yeah, it looks like some of them have some nose checked on that. I didn't look through all the specifications because I would say you need to have Russ look at it, like it doesn't have the long stick or the angle backfill blade.
That's right there.
I don't know what the other one had in it, but
Yeah, so, and I don't know what number you read tonight, Kevin, did that take into account all the options and all that?
yes, that was their bottom line number and then the trade.
Okay.
So I don't know if they, I would say obviously you can have Russ look at it. because
Yeah, you're gonna have to look at
There's,
them.
there's some of them with nose on there.
Right.
Or like here, I mean, this one actually has a 55 amp alternator versus a 20, he had spec 20 to 40 amps. I mean, some of them explain it pretty good as far as what they did, but yeah.
All the same model, all Bobcat or all?
I'm sorry?
All the same model or all Cat or
Okay,
Bobcat?
so, like Kevin said, my specifications were pretty sparse because we were just looking to upgrade for one thing. So I was looking more at like the hydraulic system, the pump we put out, what the gross horsepower is, okay? Did that answer your question? But anyway, so, obviously Boyd Cat is a Caterpillar, Boyd and Son, they are Bobcat, Diamond Equipment is Case, Hope Equipment will have the Kubota, I believe, is that correct? And then Hudson John Deere, McCoy John Deere, and Wright John Deere. So I don't know what course the council would like to take, but we are renting one right now, in that ours is at both right now. They took a look at it, so again, I would ask that, you know, we make this as expeditious as possible. Again, I don't know how we go about that.
Make a motion that,
Normally you would,
yeah. Say,
award the, you know, tentatively award the bid to the lowest responsible and responsive bidder, subject to Russ's approval.
yeah, subject to
Authorize
Russ's
him to buy
approval.
it at the lowest, from the lowest bidder.
And since
Right.
we're renting, can we put in that motion and who can deliver the quickest?
That sometimes comes into play. In fact, if you look on the bid form, delivery date is always.
Yeah, some of them did have one in stock.
Would you like us to add that to the,
Uh,
I know,
Nah, for now.
okay,
Well, yes, go ahead and put it in. I will
Okay.
consider delivery date.
okay. So with Russ's approval and perusal, I make a motion that we accept the lowest bid, and the most timely delivery.
Second.
Discussion, do we want to add any comments that the machine meets the qualifications of Russ's
Yeah, I
specifications?
said that, Russ's
With
specification.
horsepower,
Yeah, it's subject to his meeting, it's
Okay.
subject to his approving the bid as meeting his required specifications.
okay, I'm sorry. Okay, any other comment? There's no other comment. All those in favor of this, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Let be known, it passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, that was right.
So moving on to trails,
You did have one bid for surplus property.
oh, I'm sorry.
We'd also advertise for the fire truck and also for 2 trucks,
Two trucks, a enclosed trailer, and a manure wagon.
manure wagon,
did not
Apparently,
receive any for the fire trucks.
this is surplus equipment.
Yeah,
I don't know who this is from. This is a bid from Wildlife Properties LLC. Please accept this as our bid for the box trailer advertised for bid in the amount of $200. I will disclose Wildlife Properties, I do have an interest in that entity. It's cheaper to storage,
I'd say sold, but for that price, I'm not gonna fix the tire that's flat.
but yes, you will.
As is.
as is,
I'll
as,
bring back
As
the
is.
rest. He just has to make it about 4 miles south, so.
as is.
And then it's gonna sit.
Fix a flat.
Just hook it up to your snowplow that you haven't been able to use.
Yeah, buried down the farm, so.
You didn't put bid in for the tank?
I should have. You might want to redo that, if nobody wants it. That'd be a great target out by feet.
I didn't know there was bids out, so I would have bid on the trucks probably.
Yeah.
We can redo it again.
Well, that does beg the question, what now? I mean, I don't wanna take.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, can I list it with a company and they take a percentage?
Sure, let me look at
I
it.
mean, we can rebid it,
Let me
right?
look. Yeah,
Since
we
we
can
didn't
rebid.
have.
Yeah, it can be
any.
rebid.
Rebidding,
Huh?
yeah.
It can be rebid.
Well, Brindley Mountain, I can list it, they send me all the paperwork, and they'll take 10%, and they're out of Alabama, and they'll put it all over the United States.
They're getting a nice truck.
Yeah, and
Low
we
hour
wanna,
truck.
and we wanna do the United States, because he thinks people will come,
Let me look and see what we have.
okay?
Let me know, because I got all the paperwork.
Okay. Normally it has to be.
It's a very low hour truck, very nice truck, so a small town.
Oh, it would be
I thought
ideal.
AP, they showed some interest in it. They
Yeah.
have no truck on site anymore, they wanna put another one on site.
Yeah,
That'd be a great truck going Rockport.
yeah.
Can Russ, since nobody bid on these trucks, can he deem, or can we deem this stuff salvage now and?
You can, if you think they're truly worthless.
Worthless.
And that's,
Or I'm talking about the trucks that's left over and.
Yeah, that's what I mean, I don't want that stuff
Can a
sitting
person
on
give
my
him
lot
scrap
forever.
price?
yeah, if you think you think they're worth nothing, then yes, you can declare them to be surplus, and then, let me check into it.
Can we get salvage?
I'll give you,
Well, that's what
Steel,
we're asking, but I
yeah.
mean,
I'll give you a firm answer tomorrow morning.
pickup trucks typically. these
You need a
days,
motion on the box trailer?
Yes.
Make
Okay.
a motion to approve the sale
Or you can reject it.
As
We
is.
can rebid it next month too.
in the amount of $200 to,
Did you hear his
Wildlife.
motion?
Properties
You didn't
LLC.
hear it. You didn't hear it.
whatever this, what?
Wildlife.
Wildlife Properties.
Wildlife Properties LLC, as is.
Oh, as is.
Your car.
No hot air, huh?
I'll throw a little slime in there.
Okay, I have a first,
I'll second it.
okay. I have a first from Jason, a second from Trish on this sale of this box trailer. Any other comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let be known, passes 4-0.
Congratulations. Yeah, hopefully you can advertise that bigger.
I think a sale.
I do too. I do too. You have to get all
Quotes
of
for the trees next?
Oh.
We got
Well,
those.
I didn't really put that up for public quote per se, let me explain.
Okay.
So, Kevin, correct my syntax if I'm not correct, the state statute says when it's an emergency situation, all I have to do is talk to 3 folks that are in the business. So that's what I did as far as the dangerous trees. So I've already awarded the contract, they take those work. I did receive 3. One was, Kevin Case was 34,710.
34,
Yeah.
3471.
71.
And then Kern was 6,000 maybe?
3,600.
Or 3,600, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
So, and again, that was kind of the promise of the essence, because we have to have those trees down by the end of March, that season.
What happens if the,
I'm sorry?
It's within your purse.
Yeah.
I should say that you-
It's within your purchasing authority.
Oh,
Yeah.
that too, but
Yeah.
again, I mean, and I've acted under that guy before that, as an emergency, like, I have a piece of equipment that was broken down to the wastewater plant.
So other words, if we wouldn't come down before March 31st, and the trees are standing yet April 1st, the trees must stand for the rest of the year, right?
Until September first.
Wow.
And then the bats can move out and then the trees can follow.
Right?
But what happens if the trees come down by the act of God?
And you just said it right there.
It's an act of God.
The bats are screwed.
Yeah, okay.
So it's where the bats nest?
Could.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either in a hole in the
Right,
tree, or
right.
sometimes even some species will, like on shagbark hickory, they will actually roost.
Yeah,
up on
we've
the
had
tree.
them in the house, not in the house, but around the house.
Carport.
Yeah.
Last time we had a tree situation, I went and cut it down myself.
Well, aren't you?
Remember the parkour deal?
Yeah, snow.
Yeah. I was
Ice.
up about 2 days straight, I was trying to sleep, and there was about 45 emails that went back and forth over a tree.
And you just did it.
You said, I'm done.
Thank you.
Get them down.
Okay.
Trails?
Sure.
So just a brief update on the next level trail. As you know, the town did apply for and receive some money in Indiana Department of Natural Resources to do about a mile of trail outside of high school. And I did meet with the engineers last week. We did go over what wound up being not the final draft, getting ready to go out for bid. But we have a draft in hand. And of course, the school corporation is involved, so I sent them a copy of that print. They wanted to make a couple tweaks. And the engineers also, we found some things we need to tweak on it as well. We are hoping to still go out for a spring, late spring, early summer bid on that thing. The money runs out to the DNR, I think in August, something like that. So we will be substantially complete by August. We get it out late spring.
Good.
That's all our trails. I think, other than the council have questions.
On roads and that, I never did receive anything yet from the state.
Yeah, that was coming up next. I was gonna ask, I haven't heard anything from any of you guys, so I'm assuming that no one's got the documents on hand. I just wondered what's going on. Because she emailed me back and said she has all the documentation, and then she sent, obviously, the instructions out. Did you guys get all the instructions, that email?
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know. I tried to reach out to her, not this past Friday, but last week, and I have not heard back, so whether she's out on vacation or what, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because they're, actually, now that I think about it, I think we're in the good in that they have the paperwork, because our drop dead date to have everything there was March the 7th, so.
She just has to get it to us so we can pass it around and
Yes.
sign it.
Yes. And again, that's my community crossings update.
Mhm.
The next one. So under wastewater, we have pay application number 11 for Performance Pipelining, Inc.
Okay, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can go over it still.
I either,
You didn't bring,
Oh, you didn't bring it either?
no, I have the price, but I mean.
Okay.
okay,
Make a motion to approve the performance pipeline request number 11, and the stated amount that.
Yeah, I've got it here somewhere. I do have it in front of me.
And that's, number
So-
11, right?
Yeah.
Invoice number 11.
It's-
Yes, paper request number 11, in the amount of $202,569.52.
Make a motion to approve the PPI pay request number 11 in the amount of $202,569.52.
I'll second.
Okay, have a first from Jason, a second from Brian. Pay PPI, request number 11. Any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let me know when it passes 4-0.
I was
Brian.
Brian.
Brian, sorry.
So in the same vein as an update, talked with the contractor today. Actually, we talk almost daily, at least once a week. So they are expecting by the end of this week, more than likely next week, all of the contracted main lines will have been lined. And what I mean by that, all the mains will have been lined, all they have to do are the town-owned portions of the lateral. And then again, once they're done there, they're gonna move it to the industrial park, to rehab some lines out there and, make sure it's integral for many, many newcomers that may come in there.
Good.
Unless there are any questions about wastewater, I'll move on. Underwater, new business, item A, as the council recalls, February 28th was Travis Sitzman's last day. Travis Sitzman was a lead person as well as a licensed technician. So we have a fellow who worked alongside him and is as capable as him. So I am asking the council to consider a pay raise for Paul Schertzer to $23.50 per hour. That will take into account that he will now become the water department lead person, as well as some extra responsibility that he'll be taking on. And to expand on that a little bit, we are not having any luck finding any people. We are looking at going on Indeed. And again, I don't know if Kevin would have any issue with that, but they do have, there's a portion of Indeed that is free. We're gonna go on like LinkedIn. I think somebody actually posted on LinkedIn. We're gonna hit the local utility sponsors like the Alliance of Indiana Rural Water, just to try to get it out there, because we've had zero, I shouldn't say zero, we had one fellow who actually was gonna apply for someone for a position on the park department, but he currently works for a utility, so I don't wanna, just swap one for one, so. But yeah, zero, essentially, I'm finding anybody. I have ads out actually for the water and the wastewater department. And then, to add insult to injury, now next year, we, the council, me and the council have to consider we need to get another person in the street department. And again, that would be Jane, we'll have to have Jane's help, figure out how we can, finance that through the MBH, etc. And I did have, PPI will, I think they submitted one pay request for the work in the industrial park. I had it noted that they did not submit one for the, industrial park at this point.
So back to your pay raise.
Yes.
Do we need to approve that?
It's within the.
Okay.
Okay.
And it does fall within the salary ordinance.
Paul's been with us a few years.
All have been here 5+, so very smart, very capable, like I said, so I have no issues. And he's the type of employee, and maybe I should be saying, I might embarrass him, but he's always wanting more responsibility, and that's kind of a rarity in this day and age, I hate to say it, but.
Okay.
And then I'm sorry, you guys have to vote. You need to vote on that?
No.
No, it's within the.
It's
Within.
within your salary ordinance.
So all I have is the report, and there's really nothing to add, unless you guys have any questions. I'm not gonna bring it up tonight because it's been a long night, but I don't even know that the council, that I've made the council aware that the town of Santa Claus is getting ready to take over some pipe from, Patoka Lake. You've seen the big mess out here. That is our master meter pit right now from Patoka. They will be abandoning that. We will accept pipe, which is now theirs, from there back up to Yellow Drive. You guys know where the off-road course is up
Yep.
there? That is where our new master meter pit will be. So, I mean, it's kind of a win-win. We did it, I think, partially with the intent of stopping us crossing each other's territory, which, with the expansion to, not expansion, but the main enforcement to Mariah, that'll make that a lot simpler, a lot cleaner. So,
We can use that higher.
I'm sorry?
We can use that higher.
that will be our height goods.
Never used that before.
With a word of caution.
With a word of
With
caution.
a word of caution. That pipe from there back up north to the off-road area is ductile iron. And it's very sensitive to pressure changes. So, like we always say, low and slow. Low and slow. Actually, there'll be a hydrant there, there'll be another one up on Hebron. I think that would be the two closest, I can't
We
think
can
of
never
it.
use that, we almost had to go.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah, it will become a town fire. Yep.
Have we been impacted by that pipe that they've been working on 62, just past the dairy farm on the way to St. Minder, on that hillside that they've been fooling around with that for 3
they were-
weeks?
When we were out last Friday, they were talking about that. I don't have much detail, but they were gonna finish it up the way they talked last week, so they had approved on it.
Seems like they were always losing that pipe on that hill.
You know, and I hate to keep saying it, but yeah, for 30 years, yeah, that's pretty much been a common theme for 30 years. Anytime we had a water outage from Potoka, it was because of
That
that
pipe.
area. And as far as the utility report, unless there's anything else, that's all that I have.
I have nothing else. Anybody else?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin?
I sent out an email earlier about somebody inquiring about some land that the town owns, and in order to discuss it with Centerpoint has said that they need the town to authorize
Discussion.
him to discuss it with Centerpoint. So I would just like you all to authorize me,
Authorize them.
authorize him to talk to Centerpoint about possibly relocating an electric line traversing the town's property.
Okay.
Anybody have a problem with that?
That would be us, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah, the town owns it, but
Okay.
I couldn't tell him, I couldn't call Centerpoint and say, yes, talk with this guy about relocating that line.
No, they have to have town authorization.
Yeah. So I don't know how much else you wanted, I mean, Russ and I discussed it today about, I sent out an email with a picture kind of about what he's looking for. It might be easier with Centerpoint actually taking the power off that curve up there, because we've got the power up there, it's underground. They can always go up to poles going across, it goes right across Kimball's property too, up to Ed Hammond's house, north of their house.
Yeah.
So,
So we need to authorize you to authorize Centerport?
yeah.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
To discuss the lines.
Okay.
That's the line situation.
Okay. I make a motion to authorize Kevin Patmore to authorize Centerpoint to discuss the line.
Relocation in industrial.
Relocation. Industrial.
Second.
You got the easy.
Any other discussion on this? If not, we have a first from Trish and a second from Jason. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Let it be known, it passes 4-0. My question back to this on another matter with this property is, you mentioned, my concerns, what will it cost for us to do that, the street, sewer, wastewater,
It's just the.
street lights?
The street's the big issue.
Yeah, water and sewer's there.
What is this? Why do I?
To extend the Ruby Winkler out into a cul-de-sac, which Russ had actually looked into doing that before,
Yeah,
because,
yeah,
it takes it out.
right,
To access the rest of the property back there.
yeah.
My other thoughts is, shouldn't we have this reappraised, because the last appraisal was done in, 2022, 2021, when we sold a couple acres to Santa Paul's.
It wouldn't appraise then. We're going off an appraisal even older than that, I think.
Okay, but according to what I know,
Yeah.
not to mention numbers out, you know, what I seen of the number on appraisal, I think we need to possibly have it looked at.
You have to order an appraisal for the remaining property.
That'd be something for us to decide on before we accept an offer moving forward.
Well, if we need to get it appraised, we need to do it now, then, instead of holding back on it. and-
Yeah.
And potentially holding somebody up, so.
Yeah.
If we're gonna
I would
have it
like
for
to see
sale,
it.
we need to have a price on it. and-
Because we've let it out for quotes, or bids several times.
I was gonna say,
Nobody has ever made an offer on any of that 50 acres.
Yeah, my biggest issue with it is that that's land we're trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
So do we want to delay, or not get rid of, but develop? So delay it by getting an appraisal. How long is an appraisal gonna take?
We looked at even turning it, remember you got a quote actually to what would it cost to develop this residentially, because you're never gonna have an industrial customer back there. I mean, it is, I don't know if you've ever been back there, but the terrain is not hospitable to even residential.
Humankind.
Well, that's why it was, I mean, $1 million just to develop it residentially, because the topography is so bad.
Yeah.
And, I mean, face it, some industrial customer who wanted 20 or 30 acres, they're gonna go right across that gravel road to Rickleman's that has a wide open field that's perfectly flat, that has all the utilities right there from the town already, so an industrial user is gonna go down there and get 20 acres. So industrially doesn't make sense. I mean, this is a commercial venture, which, you do have several places along the south, if that road was extended, right there going back from Santa Paula, you could put some commercial ventures on there, but then, obviously, we looked at the bike trail back through there, the mountain biking trail too. But, I don't know. It's a lot of money, cause I expect that the road is going to be $200,000 at least.
I thought the biking trail was gonna go in front of Santa's Falls in that wooden
No,
lot
we-
there.
It's in the
It's
back.
gonna
No,
go
we
to
back.
the,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that lot across the road, they don't even own, that's Santa's land, isn't it?
Yeah, Santa's land owns across the road,
I was
and
gonna
then
say, I was
Mistletoe,
thinking
the
that's
guy that
what
has
that
the
was.
trains owns the rest of that
I
across
think,
the
like I
road.
said, the east of there.
Yeah,
Had
it
the
goes back to
wrong
the east,
spot.
which that's why, I mean, extending that out to the cul-de-sac would be where you'd eventually have the parking for anybody going, if they did put the mountain bike trail in, which, I think that guy basically fell off the face of the earth, that scale.
So do we want a new appraisal or not?
That's up for the town to decide,
When you're part of us.
so. Whether you want to spend the money, I don't know, yeah.
We've never had any takers at $0 per acre, whenever you let it out for, just give us a price, basically, nobody's ever bid on it.
I understand that, but I'm just throwing
Yeah.
something out, so.
What are we selling it for?
We would have to do an RFP basically to ask people to bid on it, and then you can't sell, well, I'm gonna have to look and see whether you reset the clock, because once you got it appraised, right now, you can't sell for less than the appraised price, which I don't remember what the appraised price was off the top of my head, so.
I think it was 5,000, wasn't it, back then?
It was around $5,000.
So cheap, $5,000 an acre. But I know, I understand. I know the train, I've been back there. I don't know.
Is it gonna go up in value if we put the road in first? Could. Whether go
Although
up.
Santa Paws and Maddox is appraised for the 5,000 too.
Yeah.
It already had the road frontage along it.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
But the fact that there are two other businesses back there might also increase the value of it. Because obviously land goes up in value when you've got businesses there.
You're in real estate.
I don't know. And it has nothing to do with real estate. I think it has to do with the fact that we can't move that land.
Is it gonna ask for a rezoning of it?
Yes. Based upon what his intended use is. It's not industrial, and it's zoned industrial right now.
So. I just wanted to bring that up. but-
I know, it's a
Yeah.
a very valid point, especially since that is like dirt cheap.
So how much is an appraisal normally for?
I bet you're looking at probably 2,000.
Yeah, but see, okay, so if we sell it for 7,000 an acre,
Okay, this is how I'm looking at it, so right now, we could sell it for 5,000
Yeah.
an acre, and this guy's probably gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Or we can go and reappraise it, so it comes back in at 7,500, and that guy says, I'm gonna walk away. Right now, we got a chance of getting this back on our tax base at 5,000.
That's what I'm worried
I think we would
about.
be money ahead.
Is that we just need
Just go
to,
ahead and get rid of something that we've been sitting on since over the rust. Time.
yeah, valid point, because I know it's
And
probably.
He said the street's not a necessity for him.
So technically, could he have access to the property
Off the
just
curb.
off the curve and not put the street in right this time?
We would just have to retain the right of way through there to be able to put the street through there. Obviously, the town would have to have a way to get back to the right, well, they have a gravel road going back through there too.
It's on the
The
very,
gravel road's on the backs, it's on the backside.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that gives us legal, I'm saying
Yeah.
to get the backside, we could always use the gravel
I
road.
say we don't get it
That's where
appraised.
he goes to go, that's where Russ goes. to
That's
get
my
his business.
opinion.
Yeah, Blue Road.
Sell it, get it back on the tax base.
But you would still keep the right of way through there for the eventual
Yeah,
street.
Yep. That's TIF, yes, TIF area.
And you got the tip lines there.
Yep. I make a motion that we do not get an appraisal.
I thought he was gonna develop the road.
He really said, he said, I don't need the road. It'd be nice, obviously, for any business to have a nice paved road in front of it, but.
Well, you know, that is the most desirable little plot right there. You go further east and you got terrain issues, but, well, I mean, you can squeeze a couple more lots in there.
Well, that's what
So he's
Yeah.
gonna buy what's remaining back there, we're gonna be free, and we're gonna be done back there?
No, he's only wants 6 acres. He only wants 6 acres.
So with the 6 acres he's buying, will it landlock the other?
No, that's what I'm saying, you've got the gravel road on the south side of it.
Because Kimball owns everything to the north from the
This is
curve
not.
on the
I think so,
east
yeah.
side of the road.
The roads are, yeah.
Where's Simmons Paul's at?
Where Santa's Paul's at?
That's
On
that
Ruby-
building.
on Ruby Winkler, right there, right through the new street going in.
That's a
Wanna
different,
buy this over here?
that's a
Oh,
different
I
picture.
thought that was
I'm
the other
picturing-
excavations over
This is the
here.
parcel.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the parcel.
I made it bigger
You can't really see it.
off,
Yeah,
He's gonna buy this whole section?
GIS when I was there looking.
sell it. Sell it.
Oh, the other reason for the street is, if you see he had locked off the bottom corner of his, because if you look at, I don't know what you're looking at there.
Here.
Yeah, he blew it up, he said it cut some of it up.
So on the other side of that cul-de-sac, is that
See,
also
this is
our
Kimball's
property?
property,
Yeah,
It's not.
so he took down here and then he cut this corner up because Hanning's driveway goes right up.
yeah,
this
right.
way.
Mhm.
So he had to cut off the corner right here to leave Hanning's driveway on our property.
So legally, is that going to be,
What's that little spot gonna be there? Who's gonna own that?
Well, the Hannings have their driveway there, so if you ever sold this back here, that's why I said put him in the street now, that way you can cut off Hannings, get Hannings to agree to abandon their driveway through here, which allows you to square up that property line.
because
And then
isn't
this is
this,
Center Point's electric lines, this
See,
is,
Because
Hanning's
this
house
is
is
kinda-
way up here.
right,
this is the Center Point electric lines to come out, that come along here.
does this require an easement then?
I have not researched it. The Hannings bought it in like 85, and it references that right of way through there. I have
So
not
it
done
should
any-
be already,
I'd have to
a
go down to the
valid
courthouse and
easement.
actually see where that, I don't know how that came to be. He bought it from a lady by the name of Alvin. Somebody
is
Alvin,
no name
who owned
around
this,
here.
the house,
Yeah.
their house right up here. So I have no idea, I have never done the research to find out how this driveway came about going
Yeah,
across that land.
it's very weird. Okay.
But, yeah, that's the
I
reason
think
I was,
no reappraisal.
he had originally had it with the corner cut off, because he doesn't want that driveway on. you know.
Yeah.
It's useless for him to have a driveway through there, and
Right.
have this little corner that he's paying for. So that's why I was saying, extending the road right now makes sense. This was supposed to be a road already,
Yeah.
and our main water line comes down. through
Yeah.
it. That's why that's mowed off and stuff, but our main water line.
This is sort of a road, isn't it, or not?
Mhm.
Is there anything you can drive on this?
I don't know.
Where's that
Four
one with
wheeler.
all the
Can't drive it.
potholes? The road is the one with
That's the
potholes
gravel.
down here?
That's gonna be the gravel.
Yeah, yeah. Where you have to turn around down at the bottom.
Yeah, there's adventure driving back in there.
So, yeah.
It's fun, I drove my
Anyway, that's why I was just
Camry
saying,
back there.
it makes sense to
You
go.
don't wanna get caught back there at the wrong time if Ed and Brenda see you.
I know.
So, Anyway, that was just my suggestion. And after you sent it to me with the corner cut off, I was like, well, it makes sense to go ahead and build a road.
Before we sell it? Or?
Well, doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't impact him at all, he said, as far as his usability of the property.
Well, then we
He
don't.
intends to use it.
The key to it is getting that squared up.
But if this is built, then somebody may come along and say,
Yes.
I want the property next to him, and then you gotta put the road in.
Yeah.
Because nobody's gonna wanna use that gravel road to get back to that other land.
Well,
So right now, we don't need to do anything because we decided we're not gonna do appraisal, correct?
Well, I said that. Are you okay with not doing an appraisal, or do you think we should do an appraisal? It's land that we've tried, this is my,
Yeah, no, I know.
yeah, it's land that we've tried to get people to purchase.
Several times.
I think by selling it for what it is now, we'll get it back on the tax base quicker. And I think we will recoup money quicker this route than what we will surveying, trying to get more money out of it. I feel like we're being greedy at that point.
Okay.
Let's just move on.
Okay,
Okay. Well, we'll have him discuss it with Senate, and I guess then, who knows, it may never, you know how these things go, another employment manual. I sent you all a red line version of my proposed changes. I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at that.
I did briefly, I didn't see any holidays, didn't we have some holidays?
Yeah, did you
I
add those
changed,
after?
yes, I re-added
Oh,
those. I
Yeah.
re-added those, basically going through the changes, I changed all the ones that had already been changed, tobacco.
Did away with the fringe.
I added vapes on the tobacco use policy prohibiting
Good.
vapes or similar products in town vehicles or on town vehicle, or in town buildings.
The 10-mile radius.
That was already changed, yeah, I took that out, that was changed by prior ordinance. So really,
the main thing is
the
the,
main thing is all the leave time, obviously.
yeah. Can you read that aloud?
It's pretty lengthy.
Is it lengthy?
Now, I tried to mirror, the flex time was already in there.
Okay,
So I tried to mirror the flex time language as much as possible. So comp time, I have in here, the town may elect to utilize comp time for law enforcement employees to compensate employees with additional time off when hours worked otherwise would entitle employees to overtime pay. B is the town marshal must approve comp time scheduling. C, the town marshal shall make every effort to ensure that employees utilize flex time so as not to work overtime, and to ensure that comp time is expended by employees so as not to allow an employee to accumulate excessive accrued comp time. Y'all have kind of gone back and forth in your discussion about whether to have a cap on it. I think you should leave it up to your town marshal is what I would recommend. I mean, it's his butt on the line if he lets somebody build up a huge comp time balance. D, comp time is paid as time and 1/2 for every hour worked in excess of 40 hours within a 40-hour pay period. And E, the town council may elect at any time to compensate employees for accumulated comp time at the employee's current hourly rate. That gives you the ability to cash it out as other hours during the year. So you certainly can't put a cap in there, but, you know, I would say it's up to your department head really to police, no pun intended, to police that. And,
dad joke.
It's too late tonight for that.
Yeah, I waited.
Have the fire department
I
police
waited
them.
all night for some humor.
And I do have some examples of other towns too, I can send out between this first reading and the second reading, that I've had some other clerks, and I need to send those to you, I told you I was gonna send them, and I didn't do it yet. But I do have a few examples from other towns regarding comp time.
yeah. Because you can always do over, I mean, he can always pay him overtime instead of comp time,
Right.
but,
And then Rusty has his written up just for police, are you wanting comp time for your?
No, I don't think we're
He
eligible for
Okay.
only police officers.
police, fire department employees.
Oh, okay.
No, I would want to be different.
manual did have vacation leave. I've changed everything that says days to leave instead, because some things are called leave, some things are. Vacation leave must be taken in full day increments.
Vacation.
Yeah, I talked to Jane and she said actually you allowed half days before.
Yeah, that's the way it was.
So so I would suggest we change to what the actual practice has been, is to allow half-day vacation days.
Yeah, that's just been changed in the last 5 or 10 years, so.
Yeah. And then sick leave. You're allowing for basically the department heads to determine increments that may be used.
Yes.
Because obviously, like you said, if you have a dentist appointment or something, you can run with the doctor, then they should be allowed to just take an hour off. I changed everything to hours on sick leave, personal leave, all that good stuff. The only thing I kept days was there was a provision in here for sick leave, that employees with accumulated sick days in excess of 30 days as of April 14th, 2014, maintain those sick leave, that sick leave until the time that they're expected to get them below the 30. Because I think we have one employee who has more than 30 days.
Who?
One guy is above, there's now a 30-day, or how many hour cap that is, but there was one guy on April 14th of 2014 who had more than 30 days, so when they put that cap in, they grandfathered. I think there were 2 at the time, but now there's
Someone who remains unnamed.
So he still has his bank of 42 days or whatever it is, but he can't accumulate anymore. And if he ever gets below 30, then we can take this provision out of there, but we're gonna call this the Luthy Clause.
And there's actually gonna be an E on the end, right?
So anyway, that's pretty much all, like I said, just cleaning up some of the language, but, same thing with personal leave, the department heads can determine minimum increments for which personal leave may be taken. So I have for your consideration tonight, for the first reading, ordinance 2025-02, an ordinance readopting employee policy and procedure manual for the town of Santa Claus, Indiana.
Make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2025-02 for the employee manual.
Second. Have a first from Jason and a second from Brian. Any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Let me know it passes first reading.
If anybody sees anything that needs discussion or anything between now and the second reading, let me know and I can come up with some language.
I didn't get that close, but I saw some typos in there.
Yeah, they were in my first version I sent out. I got this one up for you.
Make sure you spell Lucy right too.
Yeah. The Luthy Clause.
Lucy Claus.
Okay, that's all I got.
Jane?
I don't have anything, I discussed the one thing that, I brought up earlier
Yes.
with the postal service. And the only other thing is I have a clerk's conference, I'll be leaving on Sunday, and, coming back, Friday. That week.
Oh,
So
well,
next week,
yeah.
4 days.
Good.
Does any of this in here need to be in effect for you? Okay,
No,
for that conference? Okay,
on the road,
okay.
ordinances, so. Yeah, so, other than that,
Have fun in Florida.
I wish it was in, it is in Plainfield, Indiana.
Plainfield.
Yes.
Hey, you can take the truck up there and get the,
As a bonus.
as a
It
bonus.
falls on a payroll week, so I have to come in on Saturday to do
Oh,
payroll, so I
no.
can travel on Sunday.
You are lucky.
That's just a bonus.
You are a lucky clerk treasurer.
I am.
Yes, you are. Very
Everyone
lucky.
wants paid.
Yes.
Why is that? It's like
So
all
I
of
need
them are
time
like on
cards
the
by
weekend.
I
Friday.
know. Awful.
Why do you guys always have to go like on Saturday?
It starts on Sunday.
That's ridiculous.
It's, our other one is like
School
that
ones
too.
do that
You
too.
go up on Sunday and it's like Sunday through
Yes.
Thursday.
That's not, that's what we
Yeah, that's how
That's what we see when we go to the fire thing.
all government things do that, education.
I don't know why they
Starts on
start on
Sunday.
Sunday through Thursday.
They have church for you too?
No, it's after church that classes
Oh.
start.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Travel in the
Afternoon.
morning and then they have
We
an
gotta go
afternoon
for brunch
session.
and mimosa and.
Yeah, darn it, you'll be drunk.
Not an issue, you can give them
If there's no other business, I vouchers.
Okay.
I apologize for being late, and then my trashy clothes, they didn't go as planned.
Sometimes you,
I attempted twice to go in and take a shower.
Oh, no.
How bad was it? I mean,
So the one on 231, we lost, had about 150 yards burn up, and then Bob Rinke lost a 320D track hoe completely.
Oh, completely.
who was it?
Bob Rinke.
Oh, did he burn up a combine a couple of years ago?
Say the 320?
No, it was big. You showed me a picture.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, lay it on us, woman. Yep.
Okay. I have general vouchers in the amount of $468,065.05.
Make a motion to approve the general voucher in the amount of $468,065.05.
Second.
Have a first from Jason, a second from Patricia, pay this general voucher. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Let be known, it passes 4-0.
I have payroll vouchers in the amount of $98,740.57.
Make a motion to approve the payroll voucher in the amount of $98,740.57.
Second.
Okay, I have a first from Jason, to pay that voucher, and a second from Brian, pay the same voucher. All those in favor, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Let be known, passes 4-0.
I have a wastewater voucher in the amount of $350,632.38.
Make a motion to approve the wastewater voucher in the amount of $350,632.38.
Second.
I have a first from Jason, a second from Brian to pay the wastewater voucher. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. No, passes 4-0.
And because I'm full of bonuses tonight, I also have a second wastewater voucher in the amount of $9,670.
670.
Make a motion to approve the extra wastewater voucher in the amount of $9,670.
I second that.
I have a first from Jason, a second from Trish to pay this extra voucher.
Bonus.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. No, passes 4-0.
What was that second one? I just didn't get added, or?
Well, I think what happened is that she had the voucher done and an invoice was submitted after she had done the voucher, so she did a second
Bonus
voucher so
voucher.
we could get approved tonight and not have to go on next month's vouchers. Sometimes that happens if we get handed stuff after she's already closed out the first batch. And that's, well, there's some, that's, I got this in the mail, and I made copies for myself.
Oh, yeah.
But this is all stuff you have to sign, there's some sign stuff in there, and that's for you to be able to do. They sent it, so,
He said, I want to do that 45.
and all of that is the original, I
Yeah,
made
yeah.
copies, but, if you can give me like those back so I can get signed copies for the office.
Love it when somebody gets mad about an ordinance that they signed.
That was the coolest.
He's probably the one who thought of it.
Well, it wasn't my place to say, but, I mean, we rely on Kevin to help improve the ordinances. Not that they
I gotta say, he called me and asked me my legal advice.
It is,
I'm the town's attorney, he asked me, he said legally, can I do this? It's like, well, that's kind of my job.
I honestly think he was very burned because of the time. The time that he had to wait to find out, I think that burned him more than anything.
Well, I've been waiting on word from the town for, going about 3 months now.
Yeah,
so I haven't
so
seen
there
it.
you go, yep.
Not this town, obviously,
I
I make a motion, yeah, go
Make
do
a
it.
motion to adjourn?
but. Second.
Have a first and second to adjourn for the evening. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Good job, Brian, sorry I jumped on.
I'm ready to go.
Oh my, I've been yawning.
Hang on a minute,
Okay,
I got a comment.
okay,
Are we down?